Hi friends, I'm Fairy Vintage. My name is Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirits, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys. Most amazing, fantastic viewers. If you guys are new to this channel, welcome. And I'm so glad that you guys finally found me. I hope these messages resonate with you guys. And if you guys would like to subscribe to this channel, that would definitely help to support the community. And for those of you guys returning, I'm so grateful, so blessed, and I cannot wait to do your reading today. Today's reading, we're looking at your current situation, circumstance, and step-by-step guidance on how to navigate through this situation or this energy that you're currently going through. Okay, so it is a pick a card. We'll pick 3 runes and some charms for each of the picks. But before we pick your cards, you guys can certainly go up and click on the timestamp if you want to skip straight away to that process. Let's get into the decks that we'll be using for this reading, beautiful people. The tarot deck we'll be using is the Wild Unknown Tarot. But all the others are oracle cards. Now, I just got these 2 absolutely amazing psychological cards. I will put a link right now here. Look at me go. You guys can take a look at the deck flip through for those in my playlist if you're interested. A lot of these decks are in my playlist. You might have to scroll through a lot of mishmash as I learn how to YouTube. So there are quite a bit of decks for this reading. And finally, the Rune Oracle deck, which you see, and the Soul's Journey. Am I holding into the light? Okay, so gorgeous angels. Let's pull the 3 picks. We're looking at the viewer's situation, circumstance, right here, right now, spirits. What is going on in their world and how do they navigate through their situation? Can we get the 3 options? 3 picks for the viewer right here, right now. Option 1, there's your card. Option 2, and finally, option 3. Now, if at any point you're pulled to 1, 2, or 3, you can go ahead and click on the timestamp. We'll reveal these shortly. And for those of you guys needing a little bit more guidance into your pick, we will be pulling charm as well. Okay, now if you're pulled to multiple piles, that's absolutely fine. There could be multiple aspects of your situation. It could be coming from the objective perspective. It could be coming from someone else's perspective in your energy field. Okay, so don't limit yourself to how this is pulling through. But if it doesn't resonate, then no need to force it. Not every single reading is going to be for you. Okay, so let's take a look. Gorgeous angels. Pile number 1, pick 1, Manas. So the rune of Manas is the rune of self. Okay, the individual or the human race, your attitude towards others and their attitudes towards you, friends and families and social order. So it's a card of relationship and interaction, connection. Okay, option number 2, Ingwaz, and this is male fertility. Okay, gestation, internal growth, common virtues, common sense, simple strengths, family, love, caring, human warmth, and the home. And option number 3, we have Sowilo. So this is the rune of success, goals achieved, honor, the life force, health, a time when power will be available to you for the positive changes in your life, victory, health, and success. So, beautiful angels. Let's pull the charms for each of these runes, okay? For pick number 1, Spirit. Ooh, beautiful tree. Gorgeous tree. I don't know if you guys can see that. Put your beautiful tree right there. Option number 2, guys have the little birdie. The little birdie. I used to have a blue birdie like this. It's made of porcelain, almost identical to this little birdie. Cute. And option number 2, you guys have this champagne glass. Looks like there's I don't know, grapes in this one. Might be a wine glass. Okay, so let me move the charms. Let me slide over your picks over here, or your options, and I will leave the video running for a bit. Take as long as you need, beautiful angels, and when you are ready, you can select from the timestamp, and I will see you guys at your pick. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 1. You guys picked the Manaz rune and the beautiful tree. So let's take a look at this energy before we lay out all these cards. And if you resonate with what's being channeled, then most likely this is your pile. Although sometimes it doesn't become clear until we put the whole picture together. Okay, so don't write off a pile. But if it's clearly not resonating for you at all, then it's most likely not your pile. Keep in mind, this is a general reading, so not every single message is going to be exact to your situation. It should be the overall energy in this pile that's going to resonate for you. And we will ask for step-by-step guidance on how to navigate through your situation. Okay, so you can skip straight away to the channeled message if you want, but I do highly suggest you tune into your intuition so that you know whether this pile is for you. And that can be done throughout the card layout. Come up with what you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether this message makes sense to you, beautiful angels. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have pulling through with this Manaz. So it says the self, the individual, or the human race, your attitude towards others and their attitudes towards you, friends and enemies, social order with the tree. This is huge. I feel like this, whoever's tapped into this pile, this could be you or someone around you or your situation aspect. Okay, apply it accordingly. There is a very profound energy in regards to making a major life shift. Okay, so it's almost like a closing out of a cycle in order to create another cycle that is really aligned to your authenticity. So it's like coming into your own, like where you want to lay your roots. I feel like for this group, there might have been experiences or situations that might have resonated in your old energy with people, communities, whatever situation you have going on that really highlighted a need for change, a need for growth, a need to maybe get honest or get real with yourself. Like, where do I want to lay my roots? What's healthy for me? Where is my purpose? What's my calling? Like big questions. I feel strong, like hermit energy, but very empowered. So it's like hermit meets emperor energy here. Like we're coming into our power. We're coming into realizing that we're the only ones that can make profound, significant change and have a lot of conviction rather than maybe being swayed, other people's ideas of who we're supposed to be, or maybe old ideas of who we thought we were. And it's proving to be not producing or not stable or not as abundant as maybe it might have been in the past. So I feel like maybe we were settling or in a world that didn't provide security or fruitfulness. And yeah, like it just seemed like we weren't rooted. So we're creating structure for ourselves. This seems like maybe an energy of not having any structure, to being really in the driver's seat of what you want for your future and knowing what that looks like. And I feel like maybe it's been a very long process to identify what this is, because that would be very difficult to know what I want, what I don't want, who I want around me, and where I want to invest my time. Like, there's a lot of that coming through, and it is a level up, a vibration. It's helping the human race as a whole, because the collective is really being encouraged to rise their vibration according to the shifts that are happening, collectively. And so if we level up, if we come into higher states of consciousness and be more in tune with our everyday decisions and our world, then we help others around us make the same decisions. So I feel like this might be a lot of shifting amongst friends and family members, and situations that you might have done sort of on autopilot into more conscious action of what is more aligned, what's more fruitful. So a lot of you guys are making major decisions around maybe what you ingest or digest. So this could be in a way of food. It could be in a way of, well, who am I spending time with? And what am I exposing my energy to? It's very conscious here. Okay. So, and if you have been doing this for a while, depending where you guys are energetically here, I feel like your 3D world is being reflected back to you from all of this work that you have been doing, because I'm feeling a blend here. I'm feeling a blend of people who are now sort of entering this concept, and it could be overwhelming, especially if we've been just sort of floundering for a long time, to those who have been knee deep, trudging through, sorting through, like, what does my authenticity look like, and holding that vibration, but the circumstances being not mirrored back, the people and relationships and circumstances needing to match the vibration. There's like an alignment here. If you guys look at this rune, it's like a pea split in half looking at itself. So there's this mirroring happening, as within. So without, it's like around you, your circumstances are manifesting as a reflection of you. And so either we're realizing this, which is wonderful because we can make different changes, or we've been already aware of this and we've been really trying to maintain a high vibration so that our outer world can catch up or mirror this back. Okay, so I know that was lots, but let's put your beautiful card over here and let me make sure we can see it. Yeah. All right, so let's go through the card layout and see what you're going through, beautiful angels. So we have step back. You're being asked to step back from your life in order to gain perspective. When you're too close to a situation, it can be hard to make a decision. Span out and view your life from a distance so you can get the perspective needed. So this is like Hangman energy, Pisces energy coming through. Also Hermit energy. So we have Virgo. And we have this cockatoo. I don't know what type of bird this is. It's a tropical bird. And look how big he is on this bridge. He, she, whatever, this white bird with yellow feathers and a yellow beak. It's sitting on the mouth of this bridge, this archway, and this is like a swaying bridge over a ravine. So this could symbolize a transition. But because it's a sway bridge, like sway bridges feel uneasy, We sometimes feel like we're going to be blown off, or it doesn't feel solid. And so there might be some hesitancy or maneuvering through here with great caution and awareness, but a transition nonetheless, wherever you guys might sit. So we'll see what this big bird is about here. Cockatoo. I'm going to call it a cockatoo. If it's not, all you bird people, don't get upset at me. Oh, interesting. This came out when I did the card reveal for this one. So we have two women, and it looks like they're pulling runes, which is pretty ironic because we use the rune cards today, and this is my first time using these rune cards. And look, you guys, look what's on the table. You guys have the Manaz rune. And so this looks like someone seeking counsel. you know? So this is me and that's you. No, I'm just joking. I don't know. But it's interesting. You have the Mana's rune here. And what are these other runes? This one's a little hard to tell because there's two that look very similar. I think this is Hagalaz. Let's see. I do want to see because now I'm being called to take a look at these runes for you. Where are they? Why don't I? Oh, here. Okay. How fascinating. So this is definitely, oh, not that. Here, these are the ones I want to see. I know I got to flip through them because there is no card or booklet, but Manas is certainly one of the runes. But we have these other ones, and I want to line them up here to see what the card says. This one could certainly be Gibo, but like I said, there's two that are sort of similar here, and I'm not sure which one. Yeah, look at that. Hagalaz, the one I was sensing, but is it Gibo? I thought there were... Sorry, you guys, I'm not the big rune divinator. Yeah, see, look at this one's a little bit similar. No, those X's or those lines are the same length. Okay, sometimes the rune has very similar line lengths, but their positioning is a little different depending on the rune. Okay, so we have Hagalaz, wrath of nature, destructive, uncontrolled forces, especially the weather. Oh my gosh, you know when the wind blows and you're swinging on the sway bridge? So wind could definitely like topple you over, right? And most of the time it's very secure. You're safe. The walls are high enough. They're constructed in a way to get you safely over, but you have to have a level of trust in order to get to the other side. And you certainly can't be foolish and jump over the edge, right? So, and that's that uncontrolled energy. I was feeling like there was no structure. Okay, so it says, sorry, I got distracted, especially the weather or within the unconscious, tempering, testing, trial. Yes, okay. And then we have Gibo. So gifts, both in the sense of sacrifice and of generosity, indicating balance, all matters in relation to exchanges, including contracts, personal relationships, which we were feeling, and partnerships. Exactly. So it's an alignment, it's a calibration. But so maybe this was a guide for us to pull these. But there is counsel here. There's guidance here, you know, and maybe you're being given signs, symbols, synchronicities. People are coming in. You're hearing these things. You're seeing these things through dreams, through your angel numbers, and Spirit really wants you to pay attention, you know, like that's there for a reason. Don't dismiss it. Don't stay in your old world of maybe, because it felt very 3D-ish. So this esoteric world of signs and symbols and spirituality might be fairly new. And so it's kind of a foolish energy to believe in something we can't see, taste, or touch, right? But it's definitely aligning you to see something, because whatever it's showing you is specific to you, your guardian angels. You're being divinely guided on this journey towards where you need to go. And like I said, you're aligning to this purpose, you know, that's getting more aligned, more authentically you, rather than where you've been. So people might fall away, things might fall away, but other things are being calibrated. So we have domicile moon with abundance. Domicile, I don't know what a domicile is, but it's obviously a stage of the moon. This is talking about abundance. And so we have gifts here, generosity. Yeah, I think we're going from a state of being at the mercy of what's around us, but we've been manifesting all along, to now being conscious manifestors, so we can align with abundance. You know, like abundance is out there for us. Whether we're aligned to it or matched to it is going to be up to us. And now I think we realize there is abundance here for us. There always has been. So look at that. Two little duckies, and they're floating in what looks to be like a swamp. We have a barrel here, so it could be an oil barrel. And you know how the habitat, the wildlife could be very impacted by their environment. So there might be things, again, that have been very toxic. And I'm getting the the frog analogy, the boiling frog, you know, that's been sitting in the water, and slowly the pot of water, you know, is getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and the frog is staying in there, and it doesn't realize how much it's impacted by its environment, because it's slowly sort of being conditioned. But if you put that frog into the boiling pot of water, it's going to sense it right away. So I feel like we've been desensitized by our environment, but it's been so toxic over time. I think it's been hindering us, impacting our health potentially, mental health, spiritual health. I feel very strong spiritual health. Your spirituality might have been something that was really impacted by your environment, you know? But it does take a physical toll, mentally, physically, emotionally. And look at this. So we have this person on snowshoes navigating the wild tundra here, and some wolves. This person's wearing a red ski jacket. Red could symbolize the root chakra. And the snowy scene could certainly represent, you know, like a frozen state. But wolves, it could be our own sense of independence, or wolf pack, like aligning with our wolf pack, but having to navigate through maybe being alone or being isolated, or a period of wintertime, in order to align with that, to find the independence, to find our tribe, to find that which lies within. You know, it's a harsh, cold sort of climate to navigate here, because it feels could be very isolated, could be resources are lacking. And wow, the blank canvas. Look at this guy. So he has this scroll, or this open canvas that's blank, and he's on top of the scenic, a scenic position here, over top of the trees, evergreens, and we see a body of water. It's like nature. So beautiful nature and abundance all around. And he's holding up this blank slate and he's looking at it. And it's so close to him. So what is he seeing there? He might be seeing the blank. Meanwhile, look what's going on around him. So where's he focused? So there's lots of meaning in this card. You know, the blank slate, it means we can create. We're manifestors. But depending where we put our focus, we might be seeing what's not there. Meanwhile, look what's always there. If we turn and see, we could become one with that environment. But it's up to us. You know, what are we letting sort of get in the way here? Powerful. Okay, so we have commitment with number 8. Look at the 2 crows. And here's the nest. And they both got 2 little berries. I think these are, what is that called? Dog. You know which flowers I'm talking about, the white ones? Dog something. I don't know if they are. You guys might know the names of this flower. But commitment's pulling through, and the number 8. 8 is about movement and change. 8 is about attainment. Yeah, attaining something here. But 8 is the strength card in the tarot, which would require us to have some courage to align and calibrate what we're committing to. You know, maybe we've been committing to things here that been producing nothing but this sort of an energy, you know, and now we're having to navigate through to find the abundance that's always been there. Sacred action, decisive focus. Yes, remember I was saying, where's he focusing? So if the master magician is focused on, you know, looking at lack or scarcity or what's not there, he tends to create more of this. But if he puts his decisive focus on abundance, then it becomes the slate in which he's writing on. Wow, this is so powerful. So 17 is star energy. Okay, that's about our wishes for the future. It's wishes fulfilled, aligning to our purpose, to our North Star, but with intent, with our intentions. Yes. Sacred action. Beautiful. Summoning power. Look at the 2 wolves, you guys. Wow, look how powerful. I love you guys. I love my subscribers here because you guys are so on point here. And we have these two wolves. So funny because that was my YouTube profile for some time. For those of you guys who have been here for a while, I had the dark wolf and the light wolf. So they could be symbolizing the two aspects of us, you know, the wild side. Now I'm being drawn to antimony, which is a card in Kim Cran's alchemy. And the antimony is a metal that could certainly eat all the other metals. It's very abrasive, corrosive in a way, and it doesn't eat through gold. So what does that mean? It means everything that is not worthy, that is not pure, that's not at gold level, is being removed. We're seeing through it. We're no longer, it's like it's being dissolved here. You know, the dark and the light, even though they're both white, the dark and the light wolves that I was seeing was like the integration of the shadow part, so that what we're left with is the light, the purity, the gold standard. So we might have had a lot of shadow, a lot of negativity, or a lot of not good energy, you know, around us. And this is totally pure. Double wolves. Like, wow, and wow. Summoning power, instinct, intellect, control, decisive focus. Like, yeah, the emperor energy I was feeling at the beginning. Number 4, empowerment, intent, structure, order. And then with the hermit energy, you know, like we need to know, we need to be very aligned. We need to be very focused on our understanding of what we want for ourselves so that we can navigate in that energy. Look, emerging. Wow. Yeah, coming into and transitioning into this other place where we're emerging to our truest self. That's amazing. Let's keep going. Grounded. Yeah. So remember I was telling you we're feeling kind of at the mercy of our circumstance, situation, and people, and kind of not having a conscious impact. So I feel like if we've been on this transition for a while here, we might have not have been able to get grounded. Like this bridge is still suspended in the air. You know, it's like finally when we get to the other side, it's like, oh, I could breathe. I could lay roots, you know, and look at this synchronicity, which I'm just noticing. This tree, beautiful and abundant. And look at these roots. So in order for this tree to become abundant, it needs its roots. And where can it lay roots? Where there's soil, where there's minerals, where there's gold, you know, not where it can't grow and be healthy. So the soil needs to be fertile. It needs to be tended to. It needs to be a proper place for this tree to grow so that it could create some form of stability and fruit. This is very important for you. I think you're getting very focused, and if you're not, then this is what you're being guided to do here. Choice. Yeah, the choice is always yours. And there goes my email confirming. So the choice is yours at every moment. And we'll get different results depending on the choices we make. So it's not that the universe is going to allow you to experience abundance with every choice you make. It's like the abundance is always there, but the choice to get there is going to be up to you. Wow. Power of choice, I just heard. So we have 45 Jupiter and Saturn. So this is number 9, which again was hermit energy. I was feeling about fruition, completion. So definitely completing some form of cycle, fulfillment. And this is hermit meets moon. Moon energy is sometimes having fears or not seeing very clearly because of our past experiences and our understandings of things that might not put us in reality, which drives our emotions and doesn't allow us to see very clearly. So that's Cancer energy, Pisces energy, Virgo energy. Jupiter is the ruling planet for Sagittarius and Pisces, and Saturn for Capricorn. Let's read this one here. to see if we get more energy from this guidebook. So, I mean, Saturn's an energy of having total dedication. You know, sometimes we have to make a lot of sacrifices and commit to something for a period of time before we see change. And Jupiter could certainly be the abundance card, you know, the Wheel of Fortune, the universe, bringing in blessings and gifts. We have Gibo here, which is the rune of gifts, but not without shaking things up here with the Hagalaz. So Hagalaz is Uranus energy. This is Aquarius, which is the Great Awakener. It's like a tower energy, a judgment energy as well. So let's look at this 45. So Jupiter and Saturn, conjunct sextile trine. In the primitive state, you're caught in a push-pull between what you wish you believed and what you fear. You tend towards mania and depression. Adaptive. As you learn to regulate between reality and possibility, you build from the knowledge that creating the great things you imagine means working hard. Evolving. As a guru of heaven on earth, you model the small steps required to transform lofty optimistic visions into truly secure realities. Secure realities, not swaying. In conjunct opposition square. Primitive. Your light is trapped under a heavy bushel. Pessimistic and depressed. You focus mostly on what's wrong. Remember I said, what is he looking at here? It's not happening, the scarcity. Adaptive, you are learning to strike a balance between optimism and pessimism, the two wolves. Okay, evolving, you're both an incredible realist and a positive thinker. Rather than dwell on a problem, you adeptly problem solve in ways that allow for expansion and joy. Yeah, Master Bishop, that's the whole reading I've been doing. It's funny now because I do so many cards and I'm thinking maybe Spirit just wants me to pull one. I mean, we pull this one, so we might get the exact same message here, but it's nice to see these cards. I don't know why so many. I stopped asking. So planet of Jupiter, right beside this Jupiter, right beside this abundance. Okay, it says learn or teach, be positive about, grow and expand. Yeah, our horizons are expanding here. You guys are totally aligning with abundance. Calibration of an old you. Relationships. I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. So we're in relationship with everyone and everything. Food, our environment, people. And when we realize how profoundly interconnected we all are, we start to make very conscious choices. So we're aligning and calibrating to a higher vibration of people and situations. And we have the gentleman. I believe this is the gentleman, card 28. I'll look in the book. And this is, where did I put it? This guy has a weasel, and a peacock feather. So before I look at the book, because the Lenormand, this is, I think, the gentleman, but which would be the main character. I'm getting that emperor energy we were feeling from the Manas. You know, your emperor, regardless if you're masculine or feminine, it's coming into your empowerment of creating structure and order in your world, not dependent on anyone or not sort of leaving it up to chance. Okay, which means we'd have to identify our own egos and we'd have to identify our own authentic expression and be comfortable in expressing that and letting it be seen to the world. Being seen, you know, but being seen in a healthy way for who we are, not through egos, pains, and moonlight. The weasel, I'm getting a lot of that Seven Swords energy. So sabotage and feeling like we have to make decisions solely for ourselves in a way that protects maybe our fears or our it's like an energy of everyone's in it for themselves, not really knowing how we are interconnected. So what I do for other people is going to be a reflection back to me. So I might as well do it in the highest and be in the highest sort of vibration. This is a beautiful waking up energy here, you know, and so we might have been a little bit, I don't know, maybe trying to deceive ourselves in some way. or like people around us might have been sort of seeming deceptive. So we might have had to be on guard. But now it's not a lack mindset, them versus me or me against the world. There's this understanding of choices. Okay, so let's see. What's 28? Because I do feel this is the gentleman. 28 is the gentleman. This card stands for the person asking the questions. If it is a man, and so it is the person card for men. If the person asking the question is a woman, the card represents her present or future partner, i.e. the man she feels closest to. So, like I said, if it's not you, which I do feel like you guys are aligning to this energy, this could be somebody around you, you know, but it's not really gender-based. It's more about the energy here. So let's tap into this, okay? I'm going to channel. You guys can skip on the timestamp, and I do want a wand. Beautiful angels. What's the big bird about? Hey? The big bird. Okay. Let's come through with the channeling. Pile number 1, I highly suggest you sit through the card layout if you haven't, because it totally puts the picture together very nicely. It comes together, okay? I'll try to pick the highlights here of what is going on. Now, this is a collective reading, so not everyone's in the exact same place and time, okay? But the overall energy here should match. I don't know where you're at in the shift, but if you are feeling, let me back up. Some of you guys might be finally realizing your impact, okay? Like your impact in the world around you. And the world around you hasn't been supportive of health, abundance. There's people, places, and things in your world that could be very toxic, you know, and over time, potentially, to whatever degree. And so in order for us to wake up and shake up, it requires a lot of confidence. It requires a lot of severing of relationships and habits and clearing the noise of what doesn't serve us, what's not in our highest good. This is an energy of having to know what that looks like and facing that. And so for a long time, we could have been fearing the truth and not wanting to really see the truth, or always looking in the same area. And that area that we were looking was always reflecting back to us a state of lack. Okay. And the reason being is because that's all we might have known or all we might have experienced. And so we stayed either asleep or unconscious or just a part of that sort of world. People, places, things that just sort of weighed us down. Habits, vices, everything from what we eat, what we ingest, either through whatever, social media, our actions, our vibration, and we continued to sort of produce the same outcome. Over time, this became difficult. Okay. And so I feel like there's a true strength in reflecting and going inwards. So this is what I mean by I don't know where you're at. Some of you guys have been inwards, really recalibrating and aligning. And this process has taken a very, very, very long time, because we're really having to be honest with ourselves and see from healthy eyes, not from eyes of fears, not from eyes of what we want it to be, not from eyes of the veil of what we've experienced, but fresh eyes to know that our manifestations and our future could align with abundance, and not like a woo-woo positive affirmation, law of attraction, but really understanding that we are manifestors, that our energy vibration is the creator, and the creator is going to create either lack or abundance, depending on where we are directing our energy. If we spend a lot of time energetically involved in lack and scarcity, that is what we produce. So I feel like there's been a lot of signs, symbols, synchronicities, guidance. There is a lot of guidance here. Some of you guys are early on in the stage of spirituality, being guided towards alignment. And this could be very scary when we're transitioning because what the Haggleass is flipping our whole world upside down of how we've known it to be. So at an early stage, it's scary. It's a tower moment, where we might want things to get grounded and stable and hang on to things. So at least it could kind of stay the same. But I feel like we can't hang on to things that are quickly shown to us as being corrosive. And I'm really getting that antimony energy with the wolf energy, that is everything that doesn't serve us gets eaten away, and the only thing standing is gold. Gold is the only thing that is pure enough to withstand this Hagalaz energy. And for those of you guys who missed the card layout, we pulled 2 more runes for you guys, which were visible in this card right here, which is absolutely fascinating. So we had a card here that shows your Manaz rune. Okay, fortune telling, sign, symbol, synchronicities, being guided here by divine. Okay, and the divine can show up as people, places, things that are guiding you, your dreams. And we see the other 2 runes here. One is Hagalaz and the other one is Gibo. Gibo is the rune of gifts, okay, being bestowed by the universe. But it is also with a sense of sacrifice here, because we have Jupiter, Saturn, which means what? This means, just like going to the gym, we can't expect to have like a killer bod and get rid of all of the fat cells and become strong by sitting, looking at people working at the gym, or by maintaining eating bonbons and sitting on our couch, right? Now, I'm not saying this is what you're doing, but this is an analogy of through sacrifice. This means I see what's not working, and I have to make a choice to shift that, shift my commitment, and then stay committed to choosing the decisions that are actually aligned with the higher vibration of me. Okay, like we cannot stay with a vibration that is toxic for too long, because it weighs our soul down. So I feel like our soul or spirit has been weighed down for a really long time. And so this has produced sort of a barren environment. And for those of you guys who have been recalibrating and aligning and have been seeing sign, symbol, synchronicities for quite some time, it seems like a trek for some time here where we didn't feel like we could lay the roots. We couldn't get to the other side. It's such a long trek, and we've been sort of reviewing our life, having to see what's actually the right decisions and being very conscious in making those choices and those commitments. And a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? There's like control here, but it's like a discipline. That's what I'm looking for with all the Saturn energy. Because when we have, even if they're really like destructive habits and patterns and ways of thinking, it becomes our own discipline that pulls us out of that. No matter how much we don't want to engage or stay in that energy, we have developed very strong attachments, very strong patterns, especially if it's in our brain. It's like that thought pattern, that neuron, that activity that leads to that powerful thought I always had, no matter how negative it was, no matter how much I wanted something different, it was already formed. And so it takes a lot of energy to shift that in a very disciplined way, to be very conscious in that moment of a different choice, to not think that, and if the thought comes, it's like it doesn't impact me in the same way. It doesn't have the same pull, because we can't control our thoughts. Okay, thoughts are going to happen. And so I feel like there might be an unhealthy pattern of how we used to see ourselves, or how we used to talk to ourselves, or what we used to say was us. And that produced whatever environment that we had here. Okay, and so I feel like all of that stuff is not helping us. And so we're aligning with pure gold, and the pure gold is the authentic self. The pure gold is all that matters. So that when we emerge on the other side of this bridge, we can lay roots and really start to tend to the fruits of our stability in our tree. So we're getting stable, we're getting grounded, were creating order and structure, where I think you might have been not in control, if I got to be honest. Everything else and everyone else were in control. The vices were in control. The other people were in control. You know, we weren't actively sort of saying, okay, they can control me, but by our own energy permission, and we were letting circumstances and people sort of guide. And I feel like this revelation, you know, of like, I do feel there's an upturn, there's a tower, there's a surrendering of all these things that are not aligned towards trusting in the divine, guiding you towards something of greater abundance. And you're going to be automatically rewarded by the universe. Like the minute you surrender, the minute you allow that sort of old energy to fall away, you're rewarded with this beautiful gibo. Okay, the universe grants you a wish. We have the star here, which is about wishes being granted. Okay, so the guidance here is if you are knee deep in the toxicity and the environment, and you know what I'm talking about because you're seeing angel numbers, you're being guided, and you're still sort of swaying on this bridge and not to hear, it's like take a step back. You know, a step back from your circumstance so that you can really identify and see clearly, not through the eyes of fear and how you've always seen things. There's a truth that is trying to be shown and revealed to you about yourself. Be patient with yourself to see it accurately, because for some time the fears were all that we've known and seen. And once we can really get a good perspective, it shifts how we engage. And I feel like this is a shift of your own perspective. You know, your own way that you see yourself and how you can have impact in your world. Now, this bird still didn't come to me as what it was. I called it a cockatoo. I don't know. It's a really big, fat bird here in the entrance of this archway. It almost looks like it's blocking the transition of emergence to get grounded on the other side, coming through the other side. This could be very much a bridge where, you know, wind can blow us. We might feel like we got to go very slowly so we don't, you know, we have to trust the process. We trust the bridge because it feels kind of different and foreign. I don't know if you guys ever walked a sway bridge. I walked the one in Vancouver, the very long one there. And it was scary. It was over a ravine. And you think like, wow, like I'm just held here by ropes and this wood. And a lot of it looked tattered and just like a feeling of like having to trust the universe that I wasn't going to fall through or that a big gust of wind wasn't going to push me over, you know? And so it's like trusting in the divine, trusting that nature is going to line you with the right energy so that you can make it to safety. So you could feel you again and like solid and put your feet on ground. And but here, so this is what I mean. I don't know where you're at. And some of you guys might be very early on in this stage, you know? And so this bird's getting in the way. So what's this saying? It's like your authentic self, your ability to communicate what it is that's authentically you is the most important thing for you to walk through this archway. It's getting in your way of transitioning if you are not understanding or aligned with your authenticity and speaking your truth. That's why we're seeing this peacock feather, which is all about our self-expression. So we're not too fearful of being seen, expressing our truth, you know, being visible for the beauty that we have. And if we have some toxicity in regards to how we see ourselves, we might not see that it's beautiful. We might have self-speak that, you know, knocks down our confidence. That is untrue. And this is why I was feeling weasel energy from this gentleman card, which is, like I said, 7 swords. It's the sabotage card, you know, and it could even be the moonlight where we're seeing ourselves through some fear, some veil. That's not true. There's an authenticity to you. Okay, look, he's looking at this blank canvas. We have this big white bird. And so you're creating something that hasn't been created yet, beautiful souls. You know, this almost feels to me like an old part of your world is going away. It's the world that didn't really matter so much. Like, yes, it did because it kind of was forming you in some way, but I think it formed a lot of unhealthy patterns, a lot of unhealthy habits, and a lot of, you know, you could look back and say, oh, some of that was a waste, but it wasn't. It was really a part of your journey. But now it seems very focused and intentful, decisive focus, instinct, intellect, and control. Blank canvas. You're at the mouth here. Okay, where's the mouth of this thing? What was I looking at? Oh, here. Oh my goodness, Linda. The mouth of the transition. And like I said, some of you guys are walking already through this, okay, or trying to identify what is authentically you. But the canvas is blank, and Spirit is showing this abundance is all around you. It is there. And Spirit wants you to calibrate to see it so that you can receive it. Not receive what you've already been receiving, which is a lot of toxicity, a lot of relationships and situations that haven't been supportive of your highest potential. And so instead of looking at what's not there, what hasn't been created yet, and getting discouraged, Spirit's saying, look at this as a blank canvas of your authentic self because that could either be a block or it could be what propels you towards this, how you see this. And that's why we have to step back in order to gain a better perspective. It's like, if I see this as a blank canvas of my purest self that still has to write on the slate of who I am and this purpose and align with my abundance, and I could be committed to it, and I know that all of this abundance is going to form, then we are empowered to make change and have a lot of conviction. But if I look at this and say, oh, but I don't have that, and it's so early on and I feel like nothing's there, that's a scarcity mindset, and it blocks us from getting through to grounding this dream or this reality or this abundance. And so for some of you guys, like I said, you've been traversing through this, and it feels very cold because some of these bridges are very, very narrow where you can't put two people side by side. This one looks, I don't know if you could put two, big bird, but I'm getting a very narrow walking bridge where only one by one can go through. And so you might feel alone, or like, I'm the only one here, like it's cold, and it's like Spirit is acknowledging it might be barren, it might seem cold, it might not be the best environment, but you're getting through the other side. And you have a sense of agency here with these wolves, which is your own ability to rely on your own energy to pull you through. And don't get down on yourself. Don't start looking at, again, this white canvas. It's looking a lot like the barren landscape of this. So I think really this card is so significant because it's talking about how you see your current environment is really going to dictate the shift of what's happening here for you. It could be pleasant or it could be very discouraging. And when we start to see it as discouraging and nothing and cold, and that becomes the block. But when we start to see it as potential, as a state of like rebirth or cleanse here, okay, like we have to go through this sort of, in the winter, it gets rid of all of the things that need to fall away so that summer and spring can start to bloom. We need winter, And this process of doing this is so you can learn about your own agency, your own power, your own ability, how to rely on yourself, how to become independent, how to stand on your own 2 feet. Although you are being guided, so it might feel alone, but you're being guided on how to be secure in your own energy and create and see your own creations here. So you know that you're, not at the mercy of just whatever life hands you. It's like the universe has abundance and you could partake or you could stay discouraged, So I feel like you're shifting, you're committing to a greater path, and you're becoming very aware of the choices in front of you, very conscious of what you do in the moment. And I think this is what's going to make change. This is what's going to allow you to align you to your star, your North Star, a greater sense of purpose, feeling like your soul is being not squandered, it feels full. So, wow, let's take a look at some tarot, beautiful angels, and then we'll pull some guidance cards for you. Spirit for pile number 1. What do they need to know about this energy that we're seeing here? What do they need to know? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 1. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 1. Thank you so much, pile 1, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm so blessed to be here. doing your reading. This really seems like a spiritual awakening, a recalibration. And if you've been awakened for a while, it's like your environment, like I said, is now having to really reflect all of the work that you have been doing. Some of you guys have been doing this for some time, and it's like really like coming to that point of emergence. I know this reading wasn't so much about what you can do now, but I feel like what you can do now is really lean into your own agency, because you're going to create what it is that you want. No one's going to tell you this, okay? But you're protected by the divine in order to make these conscious choices. So we have the Mother of Swords, Queen of Swords energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have 3 Pentacles in reverse, and we have the 9 Swords, and we have the 9 Wands. This is this wounded warrior type energy. Okay, like been through the battle. 2 Pentacles, the Emperor in reverse. What did I say about Emperor energy, where we felt disempowered, at the mercy of whatever circumstance we were in. Here's the Star in reverse, Aquarius energy, Aries energy, 6 Swords and 5 Pentacles, and the 4 of Wands. So, community, beautiful angels. This is really so much what we're talking about. This could be your current state for some time. A lot of anxiety around your environment. Okay, we weren't capable of building in the environment we were in. It doesn't matter how much we might have wanted or how comfortable we were in that environment. We have to align ourselves with people, places, and calibrate ourselves in a way that is workable to work with others. So if we're challenged, then we can't show up. If our environment is challenging, then it's holding us back. If people are weighing us down, we can't work with them to create. So this is a big bone of contention here. I feel like we've been in this environment for some time, and we might have been very defensive about what? About maybe leaving certain habits, leaving certain people, leaving our old situation. Maybe we're very tired, and it's like, I want to stay here. I want to rest here. I want to rest here on this bridge, but I still feel like wobbly. I still feel like nauseous. I still feel like I could be blown over at any point. I'm still not there at the mouth of the bridge yet, so I can create something, and I'm at the mercy of the wind and anything that could happen here. So there's a lot of anxiety, and I feel like there might have been lack of trust in our ability, trust in the divine, trust in things working out well. Okay, and so when we're in that sort of mindset, it's like we have a lot of doubt. And Spirit is saying you're coming into your own ability to shift this energy. Okay, with this 6 of Swords, which is getting out of this energy. Because I feel like whatever this was, it wasn't aligned with your purpose. It wasn't aligned with your North Star, and it wasn't aligned with what you knew in your soul you truly wanted for yourself. Okay, it wasn't aligned. However much we thought it would be or wanted it to be, or we're stuck to it. It's like you're realizing this, and we've had to make some pretty important decisions, choices. And it's like, it's either this or I get balanced. It's either this or I am sacrificing my own alignment with the star. So we're really making balanced choices. We're really making conscious choices here. And I feel like maybe for some time we felt very like going back and forth, not knowing how to choose, not knowing whether we could trust or commit to a decision once made. And so in that energy, it was like an inability to build, an inability to trust ourselves to create something, because we were sort of going back and forth, or we felt we were lacking a resource, or not quite sure. It's like our foot was in 2 worlds. And so I feel like what we're moving away from is this scarcity mindset. This energy of feeling like I don't want to feel lack. I don't want to feel like I'm alone, or I'm left out, or I don't have enough, or I'm incapable. And this is what we're moving out of. So the mindset of that, the reality of that, the circumstance, situation, the community of people of that. And now what are we aligning with? This is our birthright. This is our soul tribe. This is our community of people. We're grounding ourselves in roots. Okay, this is laying foundation, roots, community. This sometimes is the marriage card, the coming together of divine counterparts. This is laying the foundation. This is being aligned. Okay, and this is having to use, again, our experience, our wisdom, our clarity in making decisions that are actually aligned with greater truths, not with swaying emotions, not with fears, but the Queen of Swords is very decisive. She can cut things, people, habits out of her life if it doesn't serve her highest good, you know? And she does it in a way that is truthful and compassionate, but full of great wisdom. So it's no bullshit. And it's the wolf energy I was feeling. Like anything that's not gold falls away. It has to be gold. This is the truth we're understanding. If it's not gold, it's not for me. If it's not gold, it's toxicity. If it's not gold, it's not aligned with abundance. If it's not gold, it's not my star. It's not what I want. And so why do I choose it? Why am I indecisive? Or why do I stay in that? So we don't want to feel disempowered in an environment like this. We don't want to feel anxious at the mercy of other things and that sort of thing, you know, and we realize we're not. So let's get you guys some guidance that might pull through with this deck. Beautiful angels. Okay, I feel like really this is just telling you like this is going to come naturally through you, through divine guidance and following your sign, symbol, synchronicities. Like don't get in your own head, really, because I know this is about step-by-step guidance. It's like you're coming into that empowerment. You're coming into seeing clarity. This isn't something you have to seek. It's just telling you, hey, don't fall back into old mind patterns and stories because of fears. If you start to get into your own mind and start to have that lack mindset, step back from that perspective. It doesn't help, you know, and pull out of any physical environments that aren't aligned, that don't make you feel good. Like I said, that could be food, that could be intaking anything. But I feel like you naturally have an energy that's going to like repel that stuff anyway, you know? So memories. Your memories are like diamonds in the treasure chest of your spirit. More and more memories are arising within you. Remember the happier moments with your loved ones who are here in spirit world. For neither time nor distance can stop the energy of love that you have for one another. So I feel like memories could either hold us back or be something that we see and utilize us to propel us, to motivate us to make change. If we stay up in our mind about how things could have been and should have been and were at one point in time, and we stay here, we could be very stagnant. Okay, and so you have a lot of loved ones pulling through here, talking about being in the present moment and making conscious choices and bringing those memories of your experiences of the past with you. They're not all lost and gone, but that experience is something you've experienced in the past that is no longer part of this present moment and journey. So moving forward doesn't mean that memory doesn't exist. Honor that memory, but don't martyr yourself to stay in any situation here where you might have an attached story of the past. You're being guided out of that. You know, and I feel like there might have been a replay here in our mind of a better time or a thing we wanted to see, and we don't need to be stuck there. Okay, so that's guidance 1. So stand your ground. Standing your ground is an empowering, confidence building action to take from time to time. Now is the time when you need to stand your ground. You know you can do it, and you know that by doing so, you'll be the victor. So we were feeling a lack of confidence in making decisions and stepping forward. Disempowered. I can't do it. I don't have what it takes. and maybe thinking about it like an old version of us being the reality. And it's like, no, what do you want? And then express yourself and show up for yourself. This is all about confidence with this peacock feather. The peacock eye is about being protected. You're going to have a choice in front of you, beautiful angels, where you're going to have to decide. And one decision is staying in your mind full of anxiety and not getting what you wish for. And the other choice is being empowered to speak your truth and ground yourself in that reality and align yourself with better people, better times, better situations. And look how interesting this guy is turning into this tree. And that's really what I was picking up at the beginning of your reading was you are the one that's creating the abundance. You are the one that's this tree, full of health, full of vibrancy. Like you have to feel it from within. It's not going to be just appearing from the sky coming inwards. It's like it comes from inside of you and then you allow it to be shown, out to the world. So look at this, like you're going to get grounded in your own energy, comfortable in your own energy so you can provide yourself with abundance, health. And we have relationships. Relationships are just a mirror image of your own life, how you feel and treat yourself, as well as how you react and respond to different situations and people around you. Be aware that every relationship is an opportunity for soul growth. So again, if I surround myself with people who are lowering my vibration, who aren't reflective of what I want for the future, why am I here? And so instead of seeing it as scarcity and lack, those people, this situation can't be this or hasn't been that or is this and that. No, it's like I know I have the ability to align myself based on what I'm seeing out there because that's a mirror. Like I said, this manas is a pea cut in half. And we're seeing on the other side the manifestation of our own energy. It's being mirrored back to us. People are just showing you yourself back to you. There's nothing to get self-conscious about. There's nothing to lack confidence. There's nothing here except for flipping the script of your own energy. And I feel this is exactly what you do. Seek. The power of spirit exists in all things. Everything is made of energy, and every single thing in your physical world contains a fragment of spirit, including you. We're all one with spirit and always will be connected to one another. Beautiful. So you might have to leave people, places, things in the past, but we're connected. Okay, we're connected. And I feel like when we realize that we are all interconnected, we start to know that our decisions are actually very powerful. It's not what we do, will just be sort of for our own benefit. It's like what I do impacts everyone and everything around me. And so there's a real significance to this. We start to make different decisions when it comes to people, that are around us, that are more in line with higher states of value. Like we don't dismiss things. There's a fullness of life here, and I feel that this is pulling through the hermit energy and lots of spirituality with the purple. So I feel like there's a profound connection to our spirituality here and the impact we have on our environment and our environment on us. It's all interconnected. You might not have realized how significant this is, like how powerful is it? And the choices that I make, the people that I'm choosing to spend with, like time with, that's impacting me so much. I didn't realize. Astral wisdom. We are your ancestors and we love you. We walked the earth many years before you. We ask you at this point in time to learn and grow from our past experiences. You are our legacy and we will keep on helping you as we continue to evolve here in the spirit world. Very similar to this one. So I feel like, and with the tree, this is all about our family lineage. There's a lot of ancestral wisdom that is pulling you through to make different decisions, clear out blocks, progression. and I feel like this progression is soul progression. So you're carrying forward change. You're carrying forward new truths that I feel are clearing out a lot of blockages, okay? And being very aware of what's around you and who's around you and how everything's interconnected. But you're moving out, and this transition is slow. It is slow. And this bridge, the more wind is out there, the more slow it might seem, and the more slow we might have to go. But nonetheless, it's a transition, and there's only one way but walking forward. And, once we're on that path, it's like we know we're going to emerge out the other side at any point. And so get prepared to emerge out the other side. And when you're on the other side, it will all make sense. It'll all be worth it. Okay, but I feel like we might be needing to find our sea legs here. Okay, but it's all an experience that we can see and understand ourselves. So, beautiful angels, pile number 1. This is your reading. What a reading. Oh my goodness. I hope this helped you guys. If you guys were drawn to another pile, I will see you there. All right, bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 2, you guys picked the rune of Ingwaz. Male fertility, gestation, internal growth, common virtues, common sense, simple strengths, family, love, caring, human warmth, the home, and this little birdie. So before we get into channeling this energy as sort of an energy check, and now keep in mind that sometimes the messaging doesn't pull all the way through until all the cards are laid out. Okay, so if you don't resonate with the energy check, you might want to see, keep an open mind, but if it definitely is not resonating for you, don't force it to fit, okay? So I do suggest, if you're developing your intuition, to sit through this card layout so that we can develop our intuition and see if this pile is actually your pile, okay? But if you want to go straight away to the channeling, you can do that as well. It's certainly up to you guys, beautiful angels, and we'll get into the card layout soon. So what are we looking at? We're looking at your current situation, circumstance, energy. Okay, this could be you, people around you, a situation around you, person, place, or thing around you that's going on energetically that I'm pulling through. And we're wanting to know, how do we navigate through? What sort of decisions should we be making? Or is there any action we need to be taking? So this birdie is giving me Twitter energy for some reason. So I don't know why social media is coming through here, but Twitter could be quite annoying, when we're talking about getting our energy in balance. Like, there could be a lot going on here. There could be a lot of chatter going on around. So, male fertility. This is all about creation, but creating what exactly? Are we in social media? Are we creating something here? I'm not getting a whole lot, if I got to be honest with you guys, with this one. Gestation. Maybe we're amidst creating something that is still in gestation period, and it could involve social media, but I feel like there's a frenzy of energy that seems a little bit chaotic, if I have to be honest. And maybe we feel like we might be going backwards, or we feel like we're not getting anywhere. Some of you guys might be waiting to hear something, and maybe things went very quiet. It could be the polar opposite. Let me see, because I don't know exactly what I'm feeling here. Sorry, this one didn't come through very clear to me, so it could be clear once we lay this all out. So let's see. We have, it's time. You're being asked to move forward towards the dream that you've been carrying in your heart. It's time to bring it out into the world. You're ready. It's time. Okay, so now I'm getting back to this thing. There could be a lot of ideas being tossed back and forth, and that's what I meant, a frenzy of energy. It's in your mind, you're saying this and then that, but there's no action, there's no activity. In fact, I feel that there's a stuck sort of energy. So is there a creation? Is there an idea that you want to birth, that you want to create, that is dying to be made in this world? that the divine is saying it's time to actually put your money where your mouth is, or take one foot forward. And we've been stalling, or we weren't sure if we were ready. And all this is saying it's time. So let's take a look and see. Look at the bunny. So the bunnies are quick. But like in the story of the bunny and the hare and the turtle, it's like the bunny could lose the race if it does something here that isn't being alert, right? Bunnies give me divine timing. For those of you guys who have been here, for me, I always get divine timing with the bunny. So we could be quite skittish, you know, and really like letting our fear sort of dictate which direction we go. But again, I'm getting this backwards energy, like their bunny's running backwards, this arrow's going backwards, like there's a need to move forward. And we see this rooster, this cock. So what is this? This is divine masculine energy. So I need to get empowered to move forward, but we might be skittish and running the other way, letting the thoughts sort of control or dictate our actions, which I feel is shying away, being reserved, sleeping on ourselves. So we have the bunny and the turtle, and the story of the bunny and the turtle, or the hare and the tortoise, was that the hare thought he was going to win the race, but he slept because he was so far along, and then he slept on himself, and the turtle ended up winning. So slow and steady wins the race. But I think this is more about, I think this energy is more about we slept on ourselves because maybe we are too, I don't know, there's an energy here. We got to dig into this thing and what this is about. Just keep that there. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. Look at these three people around the fire, the cauldron. So this could be, well, I'm getting like a 3 cups type energy, but it feels a little bit more like, I don't know, we're like in a forest here doing some form of ritual or of sorts here. We're concocting something. Maybe it requires other people, a network of, a group of people, a community of people. Enchanted with moonlight. Here we see the archway and the moon. The moon could certainly talk about fears on the other side here of getting through to the archway. And we have this little hut with this dog. Doggies can talk about loyalty and friendship. We were getting 3 cups, which is about friendship. And the little hut is open. You see the TV through this door. Okay, let's keep going. And we see this archaeologist, and he dug up this, what's the name of this thing? It's not coming to me, the name of that shell. But the Fibonacci spiral of life could be signifying a lot here. And we have all these rows, which is giving me like when we cultivate like our crop. But what did he find? He found this shell. He had to dig it up, to dig something up here. Curiosity, number 11. So we have an open door, and this little birdie's walking through the open door, a little curious. There's rubber boots right here, and look at the community here. So there's a community, people watching. Again, the birds. This is giving me Twitter energy, like a lot of voices or a lot of opinions or a lot of prospects or a lot of people watching. And we're sort of in the limelight. Okay. Interesting energy. Duality. Many meanings. Misunderstanding. 36 or the number 9. And she's wearing red. So red, I'm getting devil energy. Capricorn energy, and she's holding onto the skull, which is giving me Scorpio energy. Also, I was getting Sagittarius energy from over here. But what is this? Duality, many meanings, misunderstanding. So misunderstanding could certainly mean when we let the devil run the show. The devil could come in many different forms. Devil could signify fears. You know, the devil is the fear that makes me sleep or run or skittish, doesn't let me be curious, explore many meanings, okay? And then we have idyllic times with the garden and paradise. Look at this, kind of reminds me of this like sacred forest ritual. And this is kind of like when we're on vacation. We're sort of in paradise in this hut on some sort of secluded island. The garden and the paradise. Garden, paradise, 48. Or the number 12 with the owl. So 12 is Hangman, Pisces energy. Need to see something differently from a different perspective. We have transition with this beautiful tree. Some of you guys might have been pulled to 1. If you are, you can certainly go check out pile 1. And we have purpose. Wow, look at that. So in order to align with our purpose, we might be going through a transition, and transitions could sometimes be all over the place before we get to this purpose. Our life's purpose or life's calling? What is this? Some creative purpose, some creation I feel here. Yeah, this was pile 1 type energy too, although this is very different to this energy right here. So we have observe. And look at all these eyeballs looking in all these different directions. But there's one sort of main focus, and that's forward. I think we're looking everywhere, and maybe we're being too precautious or expecting all these things or expecting the worst, looking everywhere for answers, but it's right in front of us. I think we're looking in the wrong direction. And I don't think you're on purpose doing it, but I think subconsciously you're doing that out of fear. So we might be looking here and then looking there and then like all of that, but we don't need to. All we need to do is look forward. All we need to do is step forward here. And I feel like this is what Spirit's saying here in this energy that I'm feeling. So we have 48 with Jupiter, Neptune. Wow. Didn't we have a 48 here? Yeah, look, it's 4848. Some of you guys might want to look up angel number 4848 if you can, and comment below what that is so that some of us can know what messages you guys get with 4848, but it could be guidance. So let's see, Jupiter and Neptune. Jupiter is the ruling planet for Sagittarius, Pisces, and Neptune is the ruling planet for Pisces. So Pisces is about a dream, you know. Her head could be in the clouds. It could be a pie in the sky type thing. And maybe that's the thing is like, I think it's too pie in the sky. It's just out there. It's a dream, but that's my calling, or there's a purpose in that. How do I make it a reality? We might be sleeping on our dream. Let's see. Jupiter, Neptune, conjunct sextile trine, primitive. You're in love with your own image as a god or goddess. You completely forget that you have flaws and are mortal. Adaptive. In touch with the divine realms and the muses, you have an everlasting enthusiasm for creating and spreading joy for others. Evolving, you are the optimistic guru who implants every person with seeds of consciousness and divine connection. In conjunct opposition square, in the primitive state, you are either wildly impressionable and easily duped, or you exaggerate and deceive others. Adaptive, you are inspired, engaged, and exuberant about spiritual unity for all people. Evolving, you illustrate how faith and the deepest capacity of one's soul is a way of living, and that living this way is contagious. So, is there a need to get realistic about something, or we're letting our fears get in the way of a dream? I don't know yet, but we will peel this back. So planet of Uranus. So this is the sign of Aquarius. It says, stir up the situation by using, be open to new ideas about, and invent a way to. So it's a little bit of a curiosity that allows us to see things unconventionally here. Adversity, I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. Sort of truth. And we have the beautiful sun energy here, 37. Or the number 10. 10 is about completions and ends of cycles. It's also a transformation, which could be going through a transition to get through the transformation. Camels, always talk about endurance. Pyramids can talk about growth. And so here we see the 3 camels. So 3 camels could signify something. Maybe we had 3 attempts at something, you know, something's taking quite some time to grow. But the sun could be talking about fame. Again, I'm getting this source energy, male fertility, creation, gestation, growth, Leo energy. Okie dokie. I feel I'm missing some stuff, but I'm going to see if I can tap into what is being said before I pull the tarot. And you guys can skip ahead. Okay. Beautiful angels. I feel I've read your cards before. Even if you're new here, it could still be your story and resonate for you. But I feel kind of sorry here in a way, because I feel like I've been reading this message for quite some time, you know, and maybe you guys here is like, why does Linda keep saying the same reading? It's like, because this message keeps coming through for you in this way. And I feel like there is a dream, you know, like it's your calling. It's your purpose. And I feel like you've been understanding this dream, but you're the only one that can create this. Nobody else can create whatever this is. It's very unique to you. Okay? And I feel like you're asleep on yourself. And it could very well be because there are fears in your subconscious about what this would take or what this would mean. Okay? I feel like there is an energy you're doing that isn't helping this thing move forward, and you should know what that is. And it's an energy almost of like, it's all of those things and all of those reasons and all of those people and all of that stuff and all of that and all of, like, no, stop that. It's nothing but that. Forward. One step, one movement. You got to dig this up. The people will come. The people will be supportive. You have what you need. You need to know that you have within you the ability to make choices differently, that you will see as you move forward. If you don't move forward, it's never going to happen. Now's the time. Beautiful angels. Okay? We might just be scared of that initial step because it's different. We might be too scared to shake and stir things up. But Spirit, if you're resonating with this, this is aligned with your calling, and it will be ideal for you. Okay, and sometimes we might have imposter syndrome or actually getting what we want. Like, there's a lot of that. And so you think, no, that's silly. Like, I want it so bad. Of course I want it. It's like, yeah, but maybe that's the devil, is like, you want it so bad that you don't want it to happen. Because then that dream, if it somehow doesn't fulfill or fall flat or you don't succeed, then it's like that has been bursted, but it's not. And so maybe we feel like we don't have the right people or resources to get there, and Spirit is confirming it will. Just, you have to move there, and you might be waiting for that first, and that's a misunderstanding that you have, or a misconception that I need that, or this needs to be that and that and that. Spirit saying, get rid of all of that noise. That's not helping you. And you might say, well, that's reality, and everything else is sort of wishful thinking. And Spirit saying, no, anyone that you talk to that's created anything different with this Uranus energy that we have here, that's outside the box with curiosity, I assure you, they didn't have everything in a box. Nothing was understood. It was all upside down. It was all unsensical at the time, but there was a formation along the way. Okay, so there's nothing conventional here. Don't expect for conventional answers, conventional ways, conventionality. I feel you're sleeping on yourself, and you're not supporting your own dream by doing what it takes to point your nose in that direction and be very targeted in seeing this thing through. The passion is there. The understanding of how you want it is there. But it's misaligned with what you're doing, and the disharmony that you're sort of sitting in energetically. So the fear is getting in your way. However, this fear is manifesting. I won't be good enough. This will happen, or that will happen. It's anticipation of this and that. Or it could be ideas we have that we know who needs to be there and what needs to be there and all of that, and we got to let that go. We don't know. We don't know who needs to be there and who's going to come in. Everything can just shift all of a sudden. You know, like, look, pause 2 seconds. There, a little earthquake just happened somewhere in the world. That's totally changed that environment. We had no control over that. So stop trying to gauge how things need to be, how they have to be, who, what, where. No, that's the devil and that's holding you back. Stop it. So we might need to release a lot. I feel you're being revealed what it is you need to do as you need to do it. I feel you have enough passion to begin this thing, but don't let it just be a spark sitting there. You have to cultivate this thing. You are the only one. So don't sit on yourself, sleep on yourself, and move backwards with thoughts and fears. And I think you're going to uncover this very soon, you know, like, but you need to pick up the digging tool and dig out bit by bit, like this archaeology, to put the pieces together as you go. Archaeology, I don't know much about it, but I do know, like, if they're digging through a site, it's like they might find bits and pieces, and at the end they put the pieces all together and they'll know the big picture. How long that community lived there, how they lived their life, what sort of tools they used, what sort of food they ate, or how they would, you know, go about living their life. Like, but they find one piece and they don't just stare at that, hoping that they can make sense of the whole thing. They can't. They have to keep going. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, but it's okay. At the end, I have all these pieces, but we have to be curious. We have to have a fire in our belly. We have to be willing to have trials and tribulations. And maybe there's fear of failure, you know, but you're not going to fail. It's through the adversity that we learn. There's no such thing as failure. There's only experience. And maybe you feel like you have a lot to risk or something like this, but the only thing you have to risk is your dream getting away, and you're running out of time here, because I don't want to read this message for you every single, you know, Sunday or Monday or whatever day this is. I will read it for you, of course, but I'm frustrated because all signs point to you being capable. All signs point to do this already, but we're just not doing it. So what is our purpose? For all of you guys, it's unique. It's your great happiness. It's your great abundance. Like, is there a period of sacrifice we feel where we'll be, I don't know, outcast or without, or like maybe this is magnified in your eye and it's holding you back from entering through this experience. And Spirit is saying you're so fixated on that thing because that won't work, that needs to happen, that you won't do this. And that isn't balanced and that isn't realistic. That is a mega fear getting in the way of you, you know, attempting this thing. I don't know what to tell you, but that's how this is coming through. So let me see. We'll do tarot and then guidance, like, if you resonate with this thing. So Spirit, what am I missing here? Pile number 2. They have this message pulling through in regard to their situation. Guidance, advice. What is being communicated here for pile number 2? Like, are you guys really, really fixated on one way of doing it? You know, one vision of it? Like, be flexible for the divine to work with you. Don't be fixated on one story, one idea, one way of thinking of how this has to unfold or how this has to go. That only makes you feel comfortable. Like, allow yourself to be flexible here, you know? And even if things seem like they're not aligned with optimal, like, alignments with this thing, I feel like Spirit's saying it's much needed in order for there to be the contrast. Sometimes we have to know what it isn't and experience what it's not so that we know exactly what it is. And we can't get the answer unless we absolutely go through what it isn't. We can't avoid just waiting for the perfect answer. It's like you have to know what it isn't. So if you're seeing it in this dualistic way, like if it's not that, then that's bad and that means it failed. It's like, no, that's part of the process. That's a win. Now you know what it's not. Now you know how not to do it, or now you know that experience, and now you know to tweak it another way. It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be shown what it's not, or a blessing to be shown the opposite, or a blessing to be shown something that provides contrast. So 3 wands, that's getting on the ship, moving forward. expanding ourselves in an area here where maybe we felt very stuck, or we needed to give ourselves permission to move forward. So what am I missing here? Pile number 2, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Thank you, spirits. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good. Pile 2. The Fool, take that chance, and the Daughter of Cups. So the childhood dream, we're not pursuing, not trusting the divine to take that leap. Lots of anxiety, and then the 9 Pentacles in reverse. So I depend on this practical aspect of my world that isn't allowing me to do this. No, that's a belief, and that's your fears talking. Right now, you don't have your 9th Pentacle. So either way, whatever you think you're doing is actually supporting what it is you don't want. Okay, that makes sense for somebody here. 9 Pentacles in reverse. We're not aligned with our 9 Pentacles. Whatever this is going to provide you abundance, wealth, security, confidence, stability, everything you could ever possibly want. And I'm getting the medicine wheel with the northeast, southwest alignment here. You're being divinely guided on this journey, even the things that might seem to you as it didn't go well. It's like, no, like, look at this beautiful birdie. He has to trust the divine to fly for the first time off that branch. He's going to try. Okay, the divine's not going to let this bird like die unless it's the bird's time to die here, okay? But we can't be so focused on, I'm going to fall, and stay here and become this big bird. Oh my God, big bird. You might want to go check out pile 1 if you were called. But I feel like there's a childhood dream, some creative project, some love of something that's being suppressed because we're not wanting to, I don't know, what we're not wanting. There's putting in that fostering energy. Over time, the thing develops. I'm really curious to know what this thing is, because I feel like this has been ongoing for so long, and maybe you have been at it and you think, I've been at it, I've been nurturing it. It's like, I don't know if your energy is going into the right spot. I don't feel it is. I feel it's going into anxiety. It's going into reasons why we can't. It's going into being dependent on other things. And that's like, no, that's not what it requires. This situation requires trusting the divine, getting on the ship, and seeing what happens. That's it. And you will be guided, aligned to your purpose. But that takes what? Empowerment. 10 Cups. Look, I'm telling you, this is aligning you to your 10 Cups, your soul purpose, emotional happiness with you and another, you and a community, emotional fulfillment. And I feel like there's a block here when it comes to, I don't know, maybe you feel you don't have the resources, or you don't have the confidence, or you're lacking something. You're not. That's all in your head. That's what's holding you back. I don't have this, and I needed that, and no, who said? Why? Stop feeding into that. You're just wasting time and getting nowhere. Sun in reverse. You're blocking your abundance here. You're not moving forward. 8 of Wands in reverse. So what is this? The minute we move forward and have a breakthrough, okay, we have to take action like this. This is Uranus energy I feel here. It's like, be led by that sudden inspiration to take movement. Otherwise, we're blocking our joy. And we might not see. And that's the thing. We're waiting to see. We're not very clear just yet how to have that breakthrough. And it's like, you don't need to be clear. You just need to trust. And then the sun always rises. The sun in reverse for me is always indicative of future success that we're postponing. The sun is going to rise. It has to. You can't suppress the sun from rising, but we can always delay your future happiness to a future time and space. But we're like beings that could die at any moment. Just like I said, that earthquake could happen all of a sudden. And there could be a change, right? So it's like if you did the card layout. So why postpone something that can happen now? I feel like its time is now, not future. If we keep doing this, I assure you, you're postponing this happiness for a different time and place that will never come. It won't. Because I think the time has been here for some time, and you've been running from it or too scared to trust your own ability. You're lacking the confidence, and you're pegging it to some sort of resource that you're missing. And it's like, no, this is your fears talking. It's not true. Keep your nose and your eyes on what is actually the truth, the joy, the purpose, the 10 cups. This is what Spirit wants you to observe. Keep your eyes on that. Don't start looking in all the different directions. And I'm getting that bird energy is like, ooh, then I tell myself this and this. I'm seeing like 5 wands. It's like inside we're all conflicted. We have 10 different people inside of us, the inner critic and our mother's voice and our father's voice and our old self telling us all sorts of reasons why this can't be the time, why it's not good, why it won't work, and this could be anything. This could be your future project or future, future relationship, future thing, like future community, future bill, future happiness, whatever this thing is, okay? Like, we have to go through the transition. And maybe that's the thing is like, we're so scared of the transition. Why? We need to see more. I'm just yelling at you and that's not helping you. Maybe it's pumping some people up and other people are getting irritated at me. And it's like, well, you're irritating me. So let's see. Pile number 2. Why are they hesitant, Spirit? And what's this big hesitation? I feel it's lack of confidence, but let's see. We're not moving. We're blocked here. Imbalance. Did we have an experience that we didn't like? And I feel like with the 3 camels, it's like we tried 3 times or we had 3 past experiences. I feel like we're letting the past potentially get in the way of us moving forward here. So we're blocking the truth of how we feel. So let's see, though. I'm going to ask Spirit for pile number 2. What's getting in the way, please? Clear and concise message in a way that pile 2 is going to understand. What is getting in the way and what can we do about it? Please help pile 2 become more curious, more confident, more clear, more independent, more confident in their ability to bird this beautiful thing and take action and steps. I feel we're sleeping on ourselves and maybe, we're comfortable, we're lazy. I don't want to call you lazy, but I feel like maybe we're just like, yeah, it's going to happen. And Spirit's saying, I don't know, probably not. Not in this energy, that's for sure. We need to get empowered, you guys. So the world. Okay, so we have some world of ours that's been our reality. The only way we can allow new is to close out. Okay, we have to close things out in order to have new things. This is about the incubation period. And this we were really getting from this gestation. I always have gestation from the world because this is a cumulative energy of all that we've learned and everything that we've done, and then we successfully close it out. It's like a graduation period in order for us to go to to our new career or to live our life. Like, we close out cycles. We have to get empowered here. Okay, this is also the confidence card. So being in our full capacity to make things happen, creating order, structure, being empowered, not sipping margaritas, watching TV, nothing wrong with this, but I feel like this could be future states times a million. If only we knew, because I feel like maybe we have a misconception of leaving my hut and my comfort zone for what, and then having to track all this. Like, is it even worth it? Like, yes, and more. Yes, you have a purpose here. It's the transition you're fearing. So you sit here in this little hut, missing the world in front of you, not living large. You might say, I don't want to live large. It's like, no, but it's aligned to your living large. It's aligned to you. To your happiness times 10, not isolated and playing small. You're playing small in like a big fish in a little pond. Why? So 9 wands, a little defensive, gone through quite a bit. So we might be hurt from an experience. So it's keeping us sort of tentative. Hierophant in reverse. And what did I say? This requires unconventionality. There is no structure here. And maybe that's your problem, is like, I have to do this. I have to know that. It's like, no, this is telling you don't. Whatever this is doesn't have a list of rules. There's no requirements here. You're letting it get in the way of your confidence to make your own rule book. There is no structure and what's expected of you. The only thing that Spirit is saying is to take this step. That's what's expected of you, and to have confidence in yourself to keep making changes, tweak it, this and that, contrast this and that, and then eventually it forms into this beautiful thing. Transition over time. You'll get there. Okay, but if we're not willing to understand this, then we think, oh no, I have to have that and that in order, and there's all these ideas, preconceived notions I have of what it should be and what it shouldn't be. No, don't let that get in your way. There is nothing there. This is about order and structure, but this is saying you need to provide the order and structure, your own sovereignty, your own independence, your own agency here to drive this agenda in a unconventional way. Requires curiosity, trial and error, putting yourself out there, being confident in that, and that's what's going to form. But don't let the fear stop you from trying this, because you're a little defensive here. Yeah, anxiety in the way, an Ace of Cups, we're blocking how we feel. So our heart, our creative passion, our ability to connect to something that emotionally touches us is being blocked here because of the fears of attempts here. And 7 Pentacles, which we've seen, so taking very long. Like, are we concerned with the amount of effort and time it's going to take to commit to this thing? And we have a lot of anxiety around that. 10 Wands and 6 of Cups. A dream, a childhood dream. Okay, so I feel some of you guys might have an idea of what it's going to take to nurture this thing. That maybe you're feeling overwhelmed. And it's like, so I don't even commit to this thing because this will require a certain energy of me that I don't understand or know that I am. And I'm feeling overwhelmed by this. Okay, so know one thing. You're the one creating in your mind what you think needs to be the thing. This is not it's not grounded in reality. It's grounded in moonlight. You're concocting what you think you need to do and be in order to commit and make this thing grow. There is no what you think needs to happen. There's just doing whatever happens in that moment that's going to create this thing. Okay? That's your message that's coming through. So don't get overwhelmed by these thoughts, because that's what's stopping you. That's what's not letting you commit. That's what's making you sort of fear. And I feel like it's getting in the way of what you love. Okay? This is like your childhood dream. Your childhood person, your creative pursuit that's been silenced somewhere that speaks to your heart. You know, writing that book, painting that thing, connecting with your person from, 1982 that you walked away from. I don't know, but there is something here that I feel you have a misunderstanding about. Didn't we have misunderstanding? Yeah, look, many meanings, misunderstanding, and duality. So either we could see what's the bad of it or the good of it. And we're choosing to see the bad of it. That it requires all this stuff. Okay, so now because we got that, let's ask for some guidance and advice. And then we have guidance and advice here, but I feel like that's what you need. Okay, for whatever reason, we're stalling and we don't think we're empowered. And I feel like, beautiful angels, you're this emperor. You're a gorgeous, beautiful, strong, confident, capable person. This is meant for you. This is your story. This is your purpose. Nobody else's. It's for you. The divine is here to guide you. Okay, so you can concoct this thing, or you can resist and tell yourself it's not for you, and that you're not ready, and that it's not capable, and that you need all sorts of things. It's like, no, and it will all come together in the end. Don't peg yourself to what you think you're going to find. So let's see. What is the advice? Guidance, pile number 3, spirits. Pile 3, oh my goodness. Pile 2, guidance, advice for pile 2. Guidance, advice. What do they do then? What are they being called to do? Step-by-step guidance, advice. So 4 swords, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. We have, I feel like this is a storyline on itself. My goodness. Yeah, storyline on itself. And we have, oh my goodness, 5 of Cups in reverse. The Lovers in reverse. The 9 Wands again. And finally, why is this 5 Cups here? And we have Temperance. Okay. Okay. And 5 Pentacles. You guys have been disappointed. Disappointed. Okay. And I feel like because we're so disappointed, we were having to heal something. I feel like when we're so discouraged and disappointed, everything else that happens as an opportunity, it slips by. I think you're sleeping on yourself. I think you're sleeping on a real opportunity here. And it could be you don't believe this to be an opportunity for you because whatever your mind speak is, Spirit is saying, no, don't let the past dictate your now. Okay, don't let it get in the way. There has to be healing done in a way that allows you to bring balance and harmony into your world. So if you're not allowing yourself to bring harmony and balance to this world, you're going to keep the past alive, the past grievances, the past pains, and you're going to stay stuck here in this energy. You experience something unpleasant, and now everything else kind of reminds you of that, or it makes you feel tentative. You might be very hesitant. And you might see like something very beautiful. It might be overly beautiful. You might think it's too good to be true for you. And Spirit saying it's not. It's part of your purpose. It's part of your plan. Don't guard against it because of the past. You're blocking your path, a choice to go in that direction. Okay. Some of you guys relationships, some of you guys your dream job, your dream pursuit, whatever the dream is here, you're not going after it because you're doubting your own ability because of a past experience that you haven't healed and reflected clearly upon. You might have been stuck here feeling pain or feeling sadness or feeling like you did something wrong or like you don't have what it takes or like whatever happened in the past. I feel like you feel it didn't work and you were the one maybe that felt like it was a part of the failure or a part of why it didn't work, or I don't know. You might still be in that mindset. And it's like, no, if you're in this mindset, things won't get different. If you're in this mindset, you'll just experience more of the same. If you're in this mindset, you haven't healed and you haven't brought balance to your situation. Get out of this guarded state. Don't be your own block. Okay, so what is it saying? Take this leap of faith. This is what I was telling you. Trusting the divine. This bird intuitively knows how to fly. It doesn't have a little manual while it reads. It doesn't have its mother like pulling it by the neck of the fur, saying, okay, flap, flap, flap as it's flying. No, it goes and it jumps and it just does it and it works because that's how nature is. You have something that's natural to you and it might not feel natural to you because you're fighting it. You're resisting it. You're not wanting to try it again. You might have fell, and it hurts. And I'm sorry if this happened to you. But I'm just really fired up here because it's like it hurt you. Now you're doubly hurting yourself by standing here thinking you're going to get hurt again. And so, or it will fail again, or it won't go through again, or I don't know, you'll experience the same disappointment again, or you're the disappointment. And that's like, no, and more no. You're this beautiful, innocent bird who's naturally ready to fly, period. Right here, right now. 2 cups. So bringing harmony in your world, aligning yourself with the right people, the right relationship, bringing in love, bringing in your creative thing that fills your soul, the Son of Pentacles. So we're stopped and only we can move forward here. Slow and steady wins the race. What did I tell you about this turtle? Okay, so something's taking some time and that's fine as long as we're moving forward, as long as we're not blocking our own self and denying and not making choices aligned with that. So Mother of Wands and the World. So look at this beautiful snake protecting its eggs. Okay, so this is the Queen of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Aquarius, and the World. So you have to close out a cycle. And I feel like Spirit's really talking about nurturing something here that might take some time. And that's okay. Okay? Don't get overwhelmed because I feel like that 7 Pentacles, you're looking at maybe what you still need to do. Like look at this archaeology site that I talked about. Like there's all of these things that still need to be discovered and maybe you're getting overwhelmed, but it's like, no, just nurture what you do have. There's this need to nurture what's there, in order for things to cultivate. It's a natural process that will happen, but you have to protect it. It's sacred. Don't block or shun or make choices that aren't aligned with protecting and cultivating this thing, no matter how slow. Just take the present moment of what you're dealing with here in order to make right decisions. But I feel like it's aligning you to your purpose with this 2 cups. And 2 cups for me, it always talks about relationships. So it's going to align you with the right people, the right emotional food here. What else, Spirit, for pile number 2? Vulnerability. And this is confirmation that you're seeking to tread into the unknown, unfamiliar territory where decisions are based more on intuition than rationality. Don't let fear hold you back or allow a misguided sense that feeling vulnerable is somehow a negative condition. I'm going to leave it there. We already know what this is about, okay? Like for ourselves. We're too scared to be vulnerable and put ourselves out there. Remember what it said. It's not about how you're concocting ideas of where it should go and how it should go. It's all about this bird knows how to fly because its innate ability to fly. It comes naturally. But when it starts to resist and tell itself it can't and it trips itself up, the bird doesn't do this. So there's getting natural, letting go of all of that other stuff that humans do is your biggest challenge here. Okay, you're safe. Whatever this is, I feel like you needed to hear that you're safe. You're safe to fly. This is your joy. You're safe to take time through the adversity of whatever you experienced in the past. Beautiful angel was an experience for you to understand. You know, like something gave you a confidence blow or something made you believe you weren't good enough, whatever this thing was. But now we know. Now we know and trust ourselves. Okay. Now, remember, it's not a mental thing. You're like, no, maybe I don't know. Like, no, not mentally. Now you know it's innately in you. Like what's for you is magnetized to you. It's catered to you. It'll take as long as it needs to for you. There's no rush. There's no rule book. There's no structure. Remember, it's unconventional, creativity, innocence. You know, a lot of child energy was running through here because I feel like you need your childhood, your inner child energy to guide you. Not the fear to guide you, not the moon, not the stories you told yourself that if you're vulnerable, then it's going to make you appear weak or not work or whatever. You're going the opposite way, skittish, okay? Don't do that. Now's the time. Pile number 2. I hope this helped you, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Gorgeous angels. Pile number 3. You guys pick Sawelo, Arun, and this wine glass or this champagne glass with the grapes. We'll tap into this energy shortly and do an energy check here as best as I can. And before I do this, what is this reading about? We're looking at your current energy, circumstance, situation, whatever's predominant in your energy field, and we'll be asking for guidance. How do we take step-by-step actions in order to navigate through this, whatever this is, if anything at all? Okay, if you're being asked to do something or what. And we will be doing this card layout, which will give you an opportunity to develop your intuition. Okay, so you can ask the divine what you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether this pile makes sense to you. If you're already in tune with your intuition, want to go straight away to your message, you can go click on that. But remember, messages sometimes come together all the way through at the end. Okay, so keep an open mind as to what this could be about. Could be you, energy around you, people around you. Okay, but it should resonate as an overall energy around you. So Sawelo, it's a success, goals achieved, honor, the life force, health, a time when power will be available to you for positive changes in your life, victory, health, and success. So this was almost giving me like champagne glass celebration. But because we were only seeing one, self-achievement, you know, like the 3 of cups is celebration. And I feel like this is a 3 cups, but with 1, like you being celebrated or you achieving something here. There's some reason to celebrate or some milestone of achievement here. Maybe you're waiting for this still, or maybe this is coming. I don't know, but we're going to see. Maybe there is this energy of, I want to be in my like fulfilled energy emotionally and like at my pinnacle here. Maybe you're striving to get to your pinnacle or just want a reason to celebrate self or come into some aspect of yourself that's full and fulfilled. Because maybe we felt sort of, I don't know, like unfulfilled potentially in certain aspects or not quite there. Let's see what's happening here. I'm not sure. It could be any one of these sort of energies. Let's see. Allow. You're being asked to open your energy field and take down your walls of protection in order to allow goodness into your life. Sometimes, without even realizing it, we block ourselves from the flow of life. It's safe to open yourself back up. Okay, so what really stood out was sometimes without even realizing it, I don't think we're forcing, blocking consciously anyway. So this could be about an unconscious block where we're needing to see, because what's coming through here for me is this desire you really have to be fulfilled. You know, maybe it's in love with this Ace of Cups, like to have an emotional new beginning, or to be like, I'm getting, you know, how wine has a fullness to it, so like being full or fulfilled. And there could certainly be a block here somehow that we're unaware of. Let's see. Oh, this flag. I don't know what this flag is about. And I did the card reveal for this Mythos deck yesterday in the playlist, by the way, which I link to the decks. But I was like saying, I don't know what this flag is. So I'm going to just intuit energy that pulls through. But some of you guys might know, maybe this is just a made-up flag. I don't know. But look how only the blue is touching the pole, but the white is not. And this pole flag is like bent out of shape. And you know, when we wave a flag, so if we wave a white flag, it's like surrender. But when we conquer something, like the man on the moon, it puts a flag there and it's like we conquered, or like we're waving the flag of victory. Because I'm getting the flag of the 6 wands, that which is all about success, achievement, you know, being seen as successful, being like appreciated. Maybe we are lacking some form of, you know, being seen or appreciation for the work we're doing here. But I see you waving a flag of accomplishment, but it's disjointed and it's twisted here. So let's see, what is that about? Okay, so we see this lion and this lioness. Look how cute. So what do we have? Divine counterparts with this lion and lioness. The lions are all about courage, strength, facing our fears, knowing how to control ourselves, because we might have an animal instinct. So when to be held back, when to hunt, when to be, you know, like how to achieve what we want. We have to be smart about it. Like the lioness does a lot of the hunting, but she can't just go wandering into, you know, a herd of wildebeest. She sort of carefully goes through and is very, you know, like the timing is everything. And even though there's an animal instinct to like attain what it wants, it still has to do the dance, you know, in order to achieve successfully, or else the wildebeest run and they don't get to eat. And one of the lions is a little lazy. So what story here? Maybe you're dealing with a partnership, you know, where you're having to do something naturally, potentially, but it's like it's the buildup of something. And we still don't have the meal to eat, and we have somebody sort of sitting back waiting for you to do all the work. That's what's really coming through in this card. Interesting. But we have this scenic, you know, jungle, or I don't know, I guess the lions don't go in the jungle. They're in the desert a lot of times. But what is this, the forest? Okay, let's see. And we have the moon. Talk to the moon with communicate. So we might have be challenged. You might have challenges communicating with someone, you know, like two different sort of communication styles potentially clashing, or a lack of understanding. And so we see this woman, and she is wading through the water. So water can definitely symbolize emotions. She looks like she's in deep thought about something. And she's wearing glasses. Glasses could definitely be about us seeing something. And this water looks fairly clear. Okay, let's see how this pulls through. So we have, she's wearing white. White's all about purity and clarity. And we have all these frogs. So frogs about healing. Frogs could be about purging, releasing, you know, certain energies that aren't helping us to heal. You know, she looks like she's enjoying herself. How many frogs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frogs. So 6 is the number of the lovers, which I was really getting a partnership here. 6 is about problem solving, which again, if we have challenge with communication, how do we come on the same page? It's also about compassion and harmony. So maybe finding harmony in a situation. having to heal something here. You know, maybe there's a lack of balance with the sixes. Six is also devil energy, which I'm getting from her shirt with the red. So the devil in its light attribute could be a lot of passion, you know, a lot of desire and a strong intensity. But in its flip side, the devil could be codependencies and unhealthy ways of dealing, you know. So there's definitely healing and some form of devil here. So we have Capricorn, we have Leo, we have some blue here, and blue's talking about self-expression. So we have 18 with fear, and 18 is the moon. Okay, so emotions with the water. Moon is receptivity, so we might have to be receptive in order to communicate. Emotions. Here we see the scarecrow. So scarecrow could be intimidating, right? It is there so that the birds don't go and eat the crop. We see all these birds. Birds are definitely all about the communication. There's a bunch here, but they kind of seem in the distance. And there's one bird who's like squawking up here on top of the scarecrow. Clouds could talk about uncertainty or confusion. So fear, or the number 9. 9 is moon energy. Or 9, yeah, because the 18 is moon, which is 9. So 11. Opening the heart, deep connections, water blessings. Oh my goodness. So 11, spiritual number. This is about the encouragement to keep going. This is divine inspiration. Opening the heart, deep connections, water blessings, like water blessings. She's welcoming this water. She's not resisting. She's welcoming the water. Okay, opening the heart. And we have calming the waters. Oh my goodness, peaceful self-regulation. Frog was talking about releasing and healing. 3 is all about growth, relationships. The Empress energy. And look at this beautiful Empress with the horns. And this could be symbolic of the divine masculine energy with the buck antlers. Peaceful self-regulation. What an interesting, fascinating reading. Balance. So what is this? Self-regulation, balance. Balance is temperance, could be healing, could be divinely guided. Okay, water blessings. Beautiful purple tree. Some of you guys might have been called to pile number 1. And we have prosperity. Wow. Look at that. Beautiful. Balance, prosperity, gorgeous energy. And we have escape. So this could be positive or it could be not so good, because when we escape, we might need it if we retreat, to go on a retreat to recoup, or we could use an escape to escape reality and avoid. So I'm not sure which it is here, but we see this little island and we see escape. Okay. And we have the card of 19, which is Moon in Pluto. So Moon is Cancer, Pisces, Pluto, Scorpio energy. So we might not be seeing something in regards to something that might need healing here, you know. Again, we were getting at the beginning where there might be some block here that is in your subconscious you're not quite seeing, and it is in your emotional body here, I feel. Something we need to reflect on or see clearly in the healing waters. 19 is sun, which is about, you know, the sun is illuminating something. So illuminating where we don't see, or illuminating some part of our shadow emotions. Sun is divine masculine, more Leo energy. Let me see what pulls through with the guidebook of this Moon Pluto energy. I should just always have this book out when I read these cards, because I always am guided to read this, but it helps me to channel what energy. So we have conjunct, sextile, trine, primitive. You're controlling and emotional devious because secret shame has made you untrustworthy. You cannot trust others. Adaptive. You learn to surface powerful emotions at will and use them to profoundly connect with others. Evolving. You use your stellar emotional courage. and fortitude to face life and death issues from a place of incredible inner peace. Oh my goodness, I got goosebumps from that one. Yin conjunct opposition square, primitive. You secretly harbor buried dark emotions and impulses. Conspiracy theories grow in you like garden weeds. Adaptive. You plumb emotional depths in pursuit of emotional transformation. Evolving. You have arrived at a place of exceptional emotional groundedness and power that is therapeutic to others. How profound. Oh my goodness. So 3 stages of development. We'll see where you're at or what's going on here with that information. We have the planet of the sun, the planet of the sun. Oh my goodness, sun energy. What did I say about illumination here? I was getting sun from 19. So sun is divine masculine. Sun could be enlightenment. Sun is consciousness. All knowing, all seeing. Wow. Okay, so the creation of the gaining of respect for or from things brought to life or light. Things brought to life or light. Yeah, things brought to light. Oh my goodness. And look at how clear these waters look. Seeing something. Look how big the moon is here. Emotions, and her eyes are closed. Intuition. Knowing. Not having to see, but knowing. Yeah, but moon is fears, which we're seeing moon energy there. Okay, pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. So pride is this lion energy. Pride could be ego if it's not done in a healthy way. And we were getting 6 wands. 6 wands is ego. 6 wands is pride. But victory is victory nonetheless. And so how do we take victory? Interesting, you guys. Look at this crossroads we're at. This is a need to choose a direction, 2 options, a path. 22. And 22 is a master number. It's peacemaker, diplomacy. It's also about divinely guided relationships. 2 is 4, and 4 is all about stability. That's Emperor energy, and we were feeling Empress energy, and I'm still getting this duo here. And here we have number 20, and this is the garden. Garden is about networking. It's parties, it's events. It's kind of like a 3 cups energy. Okay, and the tarot and the Lenormand here. But look how interesting. So 3 cups could be reconciliation or a celebration. We have a gentleman and a lady. And a swan. Swans to me are all about love. And we only see 1 swan. And I was feeling 1 energy sort of, I don't know, maybe feel alone here. You like I said, you could flip role, but the garden is celebration. There's a garden that looks like this in Winnipeg, and it's called, it's not King's Park. What is it called? Maybe it is King's Park. King's Park. King could certainly be talking about a divine masculine energy here. It has like a little hut like that. Okay, so beautiful angels, let me tap into all of this stuff here that's going on. You can click straight away to the reading. Okay, beautiful angels, there's still some unclear questions I have, which might come clear as I start to channel. I have some tarot here and some advice and some really interesting news, which will come. If you are not wanting a relationship reading, I don't think this is your reading, okay? But you could stay here and apply this to your situation for sure. It doesn't have to be about, an intimate lover, but I do feel this is a relationship read as it's coming through very strongly, okay? Which is stand to reason because I do a lot of relationship readings, but it doesn't have to be. Beautiful angel, what's coming through here? You could either be divine masculine, divine feminine. I don't know which side you fall on, but I'm going to assume you're beautiful divine feminine energy here. Okay, who's done a lot of healing. We're all on different stages of our healing, stages and phases. Okay, and I feel like what's really pulling through here was that 6 wands energy. And like every card in the tarot, there's light and there's shadow with every card. 6 wands, victory, success, being seen, being appreciated, being in the limelight, having the accolades, like actually being seen and valued. Now, it could easily turn into egoic desire very easily when we're not conscious, when we're not in tune with our own energy. So how have we been healing and releasing any of our egos and our devils? We'll know. Okay, we'll know where we're at, because some of us are still very early and we don't really know, where pride might be getting in the way, and it might feel like a good intention. Good intentions are still egoic. There's a lot of ego here. So either we've done a lot of ego work, we're not too sure about the ego, or we're confused and we think the ego is actually victory. So we need to know what this means. Okay, so if ego is getting in the way, it will not help you in this situation and circumstance. This is the block of you gaining victory. And you might think, okay, for those of you guys who've been here, you might already know what the ego is, but this is for those of you guys who might, still be learning. The ego is, I think I'm better and I'm confident and I'm, might be arrogant. I might have this way about me that forces my way. And it's like, no, I'm kind. I'm generous. I'm like adaptable to other people. I'm like all of these things. So this should work. And it's like, no, that's your belief of what should work. That's an ego. Okay, that's an ego. Yes, of course, we should be compassionate. Okay, but not because it's going to get us anything. It's because compassion is what is morally right. And compassion for others is the right thing to do when we understand oneness. Okay, but there's a need to elevate into this state of awareness that is looking only at ourselves, not looking at the disconnect. Because in this situation, I feel there with somebody else, there's a disconnect in communication. Regardless, it doesn't matter how much shadow work and ego identification you've done. There's a communication block. I think you're dealing with somebody here who is, I said in the card layout, lazy. Okay, but I mean, those are just dramatic energies coming through to show me what's going on here. I feel like someone's either not carrying their weight, it's a lack of balance, it feels unsuccessful, you feel unseen, it's not helping the dynamic between you and this person. And for a lot of you guys, it's a relationship dynamic. You want success, you want flow, you want things to be victorious, you want there to be cohesive understanding and flow. Okay? And so what Spirit is really saying is that you cannot control anybody else's anything. If they're riddled with fears, if they're just a certain way and that's how they are, it doesn't really matter or impact you one way or another. And in fact, this dynamic is going to unfold based on however your energy sort of engages with the situation. There's something coming through here that there could certainly be a meeting of the minds, a reconciliation, a celebration, or an exploration of something. If this is what you want. If you don't want it, then you don't need to have it. And if it's not with this person, it could certainly be aligning ourselves with the people who are at our level, who are actually healed and balanced. But we have to get to the healed and balanced place, which means releasing a lot of the ego. And so how do we know what this is? If we have any understanding, fixed ideas of what we think is good and what we think is bad, we have ego. This is what's getting in your way. And that's why I said there was a blind block here. It's not like you are intentionally trying to, be good so that things go bad. I'll say that again. If you think something's good, you're trying to do good so that you could get good. Makes sense? But no, that's not how it works. Don't try to be good. Don't try to do good. All you got to do is be in the moment, whatever it calls for. Because I feel like you're forcing some understanding that isn't necessarily true. And you're not seeing clearly. And so you're very reactionary based on past experiences of what you learned. And you're applying it to the situation. So if in my mind, this seems threatening or this looks like this, I'm going to react, respond, and engage in a certain way because of my past experiences, because of my traumas, because of my emotions. So we need to see through clear waters our own emotions, like clearly our motivators. So we got to keep kicking it back to our intention. What is my intention? If our intention is to attain, is to coerce, is to change someone's outcome or something like this, then we're not clear of egos. We're still in attachment and desire. We have to allow. That's the true meaning of surrender. We have to find balance and heal. We have to get regulated in our own emotions. We can't let the fears drive our reactions. Because I feel like there's this having to be patient with someone. And maybe you've tried every single which way, you know, and you might be very exhausted, and you might feel like it's highly imbalanced, and you might feel a whole bunch of things. And it's like, we're all bent out of shape here. When we want to have success, but success you want to have with, you and your counterpart. And Spirit is saying, never mind the counterpart, never mind what you think success looks like, never mind that. That's all egoic. It really is. Okay, I know you want it. It's not saying don't want it. It's saying you can want what you want. But the biggest block here is how you're engaged, because this is asking for you to heal and release. And once you heal and release, because that's the devil, that's the chain, that's what's blocking this flow. This is what's blocking this harmony and this fulfillment and you having an emotional new beginning. Now, whether it's with this person harmoniously or another person harmoniously, it's up for the universe to decide, but you're going to have a full, fulfilled emotional new beginning. Fulfilling, not one where you're feeling unsuccessful or not seen or underappreciated, where you're getting all bent out of shape. Okay, and so I feel like we might be in an energy here where we're going in between surrender and falling back in old ways and the moonlight energy, and expressing ourselves and saying, well, this is my true self and I'm expressing how I truly feel. No, what you're expressing is trauma. What you're expressing is emotions. What you're expressing is based from fears. Fear of losing out, fear of not getting your outcome, fear of control, whatever, when you boil it all down to fear, okay? Because egos are really in the subconscious, and it's all stemmed from a fear of losing control or a lack mindset. I don't have enough. I'm not enough. I'm going to be without. Okay, and then we start to act on those fears. Those are untrue. We don't need to control situations or other people. We only need to regulate our own emotions. That's it, period. Everything else will form on the outside. So what do? We got to get calm. We got to get centered. We got to regulate. We got to get balanced. We got to release devils. And that devils is all about the energy we're holding that's not good and not helping you in the situation. So think about it this way. It's either going to help the situation evolve, or this person is going to stay lazy waiting for the meal that the lioness was supposed to bring, and the lioness never comes. And so this lion's going to have to hunt for himself. Because this lioness doesn't need to go out. I mean, in lion world, she does for the lion, but she's going to go hunt her own meal and go eat it at the park. And look, here comes another gentleman here. Okay, but whatever she's going to do, she's going to find balance, prosperity. So some of you guys might be escaping reality in this moonlight. Like reinforcing your fears, reinforcing what you think is right, reinforcing this behavior, and not facing reality. In reality, the truth is either this is harmonious or it's not. And so it's time to get real. It's time to look through the moonlight of what we actually see. And it's time to look at our own emotions clearly, our own fears honestly, what we want to see and what we're not seeing, and not try to change what we don't see, but we fix our own energy. We're not broken, but we might carry impurities in our energy because that's how the ego works. Okay, that's the shadow. So we have to identify, we have to shine the light. And the only way to understand ourselves is to shine the light of awareness in the shadow. If we're unaware of our trauma, if we're unaware of what's hiding in our emotional body, that's actually in the subconscious driving our actions, saying why we say what we say, doing why we do what we do, and we don't see it and acknowledge it, we're escaping. And we keep projecting that person needs to come correctly, that situation, they need to listen to me. They're the ones who have a communication block. They're the ones who don't get it. They're the ones that are withholding. They're the ones. No, They could be. Who cares? That's not the point. The point is they could be coming, going, pooping, eating, sleeping. It don't matter. What matters here is you in your energy of seeing your own fears, seeing your own emotions, seeing your own ego, getting enlightened, getting very clear. This is my fear. I fear of it not working out. I fear of being disappointed. I fear of being let down. I have a fear that I'm not appreciated. Okay, that's all legitimate fears. But why? Where? How? Are they true? No. You're a pure divine being. You're a light being of the divine. Once you connect to this purity, okay, she's in white. She has to connect to her purity in order to see it. Then she casts the fear out. She can see clearly her power. She gets balanced. She gets healed. She finds prosperity. She's now wandering in this park, absolutely beautiful, like this beautiful swan, and all her beauty, waiting for her swan mates to come. But the choice is hers. So you're at a crossroads here. You can remain in the same. You can allow there to be challenges. You can look at what's not working, or you can take a look at your own energy. And it's difficult to do because if we're really emotionally attached and pulled by this devil, we keep falling back in old ways. We keep going back to what it is that we want. And the fear is like, oh no, I'm going to lose control. Oh no, this is going to change this way. Or we project what might happen or what could happen or what we don't want happen. And Spirit is saying all signs point to success. Success, success, and more success through health, and through changes in your own lifestyle, through changes in your own behaviors, through getting empowered. That's how we find fulfillment. That's how we have an emotional new beginning that's actually fulfilling for us, where we have an overflowing cup, and then we're ready to give. We're ready to give only in the energy that's aligned and healed. But we have to release and we have to heal. Okay? So our energy right now, whether we want to believe it or not, is scaring away what we actually want to happen. That's the block. Like I said, we might not be doing it consciously and we don't know why it's not working. Our energy is scaring that away. The divine counterpart, the flow and communication, the harmony, the balance, the prosperity, we're scaring it, and this isn't victim blaming or shaming. Everybody who has ego scares away. The ego is not a good thing. It really isn't. And we might say, well, it's there serving a purpose because we were born with it. It's natural. It's like, yeah, but evolution. Because in the past, we were cavemen. Like we were. And we grunted and pooped. And we saw, saber-toothed tigers. And we had to have the ego because the ego was fight or flight. But we're not living in the caves anymore. This is new earth. We're ascending. We're ascending into divine light beings. This is going into fourth density consciousness, which is we don't need to be egoic. It's not the them versus us. There's this enlightened, pure state of consciousness where we see that our fears, when it's our own ego that wants outcome at all costs, we start to attach and manipulate and see other people's problems. But it's like, no. We don't know what their story is, what's right for them. We only know what sort of energy we're in. So as long as we correct our own energy, then we bring in people of higher vibration. And if we are on a divinely guided spiritual journey here with 22, which is divinely guided relationships, which I was feeling early on in the card spread, your divine counterpart will meet you at your level. This one or your true one. But your true one's going to be there. Not your fake one, not your one who isn't giving you an attention, not the one who's waiting for you to bring the meal, not the imbalanced one. Okay? If it is this one's going to be completely different when he comes in for this reconciliation. It's really up to how the divine unfolds this thing. But your focus right now is on release, healing, seeing through shadows, getting out of escapism, finding your balance, seeing through your own emotions and fears, getting centered, getting calm, and welcoming whatever the divine is guiding you to do with trust and surrender, not fears, not second guessing, okay, trusting the intuition and being very open and receptive to whatever the divine is saying without saying, oh no, then I got to let go, then I got to go this way, then I got to, that's fear. Trust. So I feel like this is pretty much ready, or complete. Let me just see if anything wants to come through with the tarot, beautiful angels. So this is all about ego. Whatever you want to call it, devil, shadow work, that's all ego, and ego. It's driving, it's the subconscious, the shadows that are driving these responses that are creating blocks in your situation. So you're only one part of the equation. This isn't saying your person isn't blocked or unhealed. Yeah, they might be all those things. They might be mega retarded. It doesn't matter. Your energy has to shift in order for things to shift completely, energetically, in your world. I'm only concerned with your world. I don't care about their world. Their world can change. Their world could stay stagnant. And chances are, if they're your divine counterpart, this is going to change their energy as well. Okay? So, but we need to open our own heart and identify these egos. So, pile number 3, Spirit. What am I missing here? Look at this. Lovers, divine path. Crossroads. We're on this path. Okay? This is choice. A choice in love, a choice to go down the path that we're being guided to do. Gemini energy, truth, not escape, truth, exactly like I gave it to you straight. Seeing clear, not being in rose-colored glasses, not seeing through the fears and the ego. And when I say, no, it's true, I do really want this person, I do really feel compassion, I do really, it's like, yeah, but what's the intention? So you can gain outcome? The truth of the matter is, what's for you does not feel imbalanced. What's for you is crystal clear. What's for you is not murky. What's for you is going to be very honest and upfront. It's not going to skirt around. It's not going to take a bunch of guesswork. Get aligned, get centered, get honest, get truth. Full. 5 cups. So it's sad, and we might have to go through this process, and that's okay. It's like the truth might make us see through certain things, and we might have to grieve. Allow yourself to grieve. Don't say, oh no, this is negative energy, it's low energy, and now it's aligning with low. No, we go through this process. We have to heal. If you got to cry for 3 days and 3 nights, 30 days and 30 nights, I don't care. Cry it out. Okay, but don't get stuck in illusion. Don't get stuck in the thinking that that's truthful. See through the ego. Because the sooner you see it, you'll go through a process organically of shedding ego. It might, you might fall back, and that's fine. But that creates more ego when we start to beat ourselves up. I need to be further ahead. I'm falling back in this old way. It's like, okay, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Fall back, but get back on and know that you want to be aligned with truth and truth only. Only the truth will set you free. Not lies, not escapism, not egos, not fears, not wishful thinking. Okay, 8 wands in reverse. And Page of Wands and the Hermit. Virgo energy, Gemini energy, which is magician energy I'm feeling, and communication. Mother of Cups, compassion, love, and look, it's 3 cups. Reconciliation right on top of this garden, which I was getting reconciliation. And it's in the reverse. So, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is also the sort of truth, honesty, and clarity. What's going on? I think you have a situation where there's a lack of clarity and truth. There could be a block in communication. There could be a separation. Okay? I feel as though there could be certainly a reconciliation if the stars align in a way here. But I feel like we need to clear the space in order for what's to flow. We can't get in our own way here, staying in any sort of cyclical trapping behavior. Okay? I think there's a need for a breakthrough in a situation so energy can flow. The only way energy can flow is when we take the sort of truth and carve our own path. If we have to cut people out, we cut people out. Okay, but we're not going to make these drastic decisions and changes based on egos and fears. We're going to make it when we understand what is for us, when we get very clear about what's aligned to us, and we start to make choices based only on clarity and truth. And sometimes that feels not good because we don't want to leave the person behind, or we wanted something different, That's the ego falling away. Doesn't matter what we want. Okay, those are desires. Trust Spirit's going to give you what you need. Trust Spirit's going to give you abundance. Your vibration has to get there. If this person, this situation was never capable of giving you full abundance, why would Spirit want to keep you there? It wouldn't. It wants to align you with more than what you deserve here. Whatever situation you're in wasn't fulfilling, and it's not fulfilling how it is. Doesn't mean this person is never going to be fulfilling. It's just in the state it's in, it's not fulfilling. It's creating sadness here. Okay, I feel like there has been a separation or time apart with this hermit energy. And so it's okay. It's okay to take time. It's okay to reflect. It's okay to feel bad. It's okay. But how long do we stay here before we pick up the sword of truth and act in truth? Okay, so I feel like block in communication. I was feeling mega block here. Okay, now we might think it's that person. That person isn't communicating. And it's like, well, what are we communicating with our energy? Are we doubling down in egoic communication via energy? So I'll say that again. Is our energy and our fear dictating and energetically, like I said, like this lioness in the card layout, she's like strategizing and doing all this like with her energy, and it's like her communication with that energy is manipulating certain things. What is that energy driven from? Is it a healthy place or is it an egoic fear? Now, this is what you're being called to identify, because this is why things are stuck. Specifically, communication. Like I said, it doesn't have to be words. You could be so communicative, but I talk all the time. I'm honest. It's like, no, but you might be saying nothing honest. You might just be saying fears. You might be just rattling your egos, wanting to be seen, wanting all these things. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be appreciated, for sure. But that isn't, that's not the strive here is to egoically stroke a part of ourselves. It's about, I'm going to be the best version of myself and know that people in my world will appreciate me, will see my value, will be able to communicate openly and honestly with me. That's what I'm striving for, not to coerce and force a situation of my own will, because then that means I don't trust the divine. So you're on a divine path, trust in the divine flow, trust to cut away people, places, things that aren't aligned so that you can see what you deserve, okay? With compassion, of course. Compassion, opening the heart space. So I felt like there was a block. I don't know which card it was. It's not this one. One came out and I don't know which one. It was talking about having to open the heart. Or maybe it's this one. No, this one? Yeah, opening heart. Deep connections. Okay? I feel like some of you guys, your heart space is still blocked, like in the chakra. This is all about a heart opening. Okay? And when our heart opens, we could still have a lot of egos going on at the same time. So it could be like these two energies we have to navigate through. Just because your heart's open doesn't mean like, all of a sudden you're healed of the ego. And you might think, yeah, my heart's open. I'm loving to this person. I have love for this person. It's like, it doesn't matter if you have transactional love and love with your ego. That's not what this is about. This is talking about heart, unconditional love, having no expectation of someone to be what you need them to be, having to change them. That's not love. That's ego. That's transactional. That's a different type of connection. And you can go have that if that's what you want. Okay, but I feel like for this group, we're opening our heart space, learning about compassion, seeing people without the ego eyes, truly seeing their divinity, seeing our divinity for the first time, knowing what we're worthy of. So let's pull some of this for guidance, because the guidance here is to do shadow work. The guidance is to see your own ego. The guidance is to get aligned with truth, cleanse. Your body, mind, and soul are urging you to take time out for much needed cleansing. Just as you wash your car, clean your house, or tidy your office, your body also needs attention. It's time for some spiritual, emotional, and physical cleansing. So some of you guys need this retreat. So it's not the escape I was talking about. Some of you guys are in escapism, but some of you guys have been on this journey and are absolutely tired. Time to escape. It's okay. Don't feel bad for going on vacation. Sometimes when we're a giver, when we're really selfless, we feel guilty about, like taking time away, taking time apart, taking time to reflect. No, you need this very much. This is an Ace of Cups energy. Self-fulfillment. You can't give anyone if your cup is on empty. And I feel like there's a big empty energy, feeling very drained, needing to release and heal. And the only way we can heal and release is when we are in a peaceful, energy of retreat here, where we go and allow ourselves to cleanse. Okay, you don't need permission to do this. And then I feel you're going to come back vibrant. And I feel things will be revealed to you, because I feel like we're needing to see clearly our parts of ourselves. Dream talk. Your subconscious constantly and subtly speaks through your dreams. It's just one of many ways in which your soul and those here in the spirit world can reach out and communicate with you through signs, symbols, and messages and more. So lots coming through. One, sign, symbol, synchronicities, which kept coming through. You are being divinely guided. Listen, don't second guess, don't doubt your intuition, okay? Because you might not see it in the 3D. You might start to fall back into fears, but it's not happening. It's not aligned. No. Trust. Okay, your dreams, signs, symbols, synchronicities, but the unconscious constantly and subtly speaks to you. It's also driving your actions. Your fears are driving your actions. Okay? What you say and what you're expecting in your situation. Don't let that happen by getting in front of it, observing it, being in tune with it, seeing it, casting the light. So this doesn't mean rejecting it and saying, I wish I wasn't like this. No, it means this is happening. This happens to everyone. The more light I cast, the more I'm aware, the more it falls away. It's a slow process. We have to see our ego in action, see it in action, see our subconscious acting out. Why did I say that? Why did I do that? Like, don't beat yourself up. Don't say, I shouldn't. I won't. I'm not going to respond. I'm not going to get triggered. No, let yourself get triggered all day long. If that's what needs to happen. Of course, I'm aiming for compassion and love. But if we're not there yet and we're hurt, but it's like, ooh, like I don't want to be angry. I don't want to say hurtful things. I don't want to be in my fears. And we slowly change this because we see a better version of us. That happens organically, not from resistance, not from denying, but from doing. So be proud. Look at this. It's time to celebrate all that you have achieved, all that you are, and all that you will become. Every once in a while, it's important to stop and acknowledge what you've achieved and be proud. So I don't know where you guys are at in your healing. I feel for some of you guys, there's mega ego here, and I'm not going to congratulate and toot your horn. If you're feeling hurt, I'm sorry. If people are being unruly, that has nothing to do with your energy. And for those of you guys who have been on this path, who have been doing a lot of shadow work, there's like this victory here. You're about to have a victory. All of this work is paid off. Okay, this is all about 6 Wands energy in the light attribute, being seen, acknowledged, appreciated, and coming to a point of complete emotional fulfillment, having a new beginning, feeling like we finally can breathe. We're not being not seen. We're not being in an imbalanced situation where we feel underappreciated. Okay, so it's okay to love your energy, be seen for the beautiful light that you have. Okay, but if we haven't actively done this shadow work, then we might think, yeah, I did shadow work because I'm very in tune and aware. No, that doesn't necessarily mean you've done shadow work. I'm talking about actual shadow work where we're completely observant in the present moment of our own actions to the point where it no longer pulls at us. We're no longer on autopilot saying and doing things, like out of fears. Like very, very aware of our own energy and other people and not pulled. Someone else's action doesn't dictate how I'm feeling in this moment. If our feelings are pulled by any situation, they're still ego. So this is what we're transmuting, okay? It's an active transmutation. It's not through the mind understanding. Yeah, I understand myself very well. No, you might understand your egoic self, your false self very well. You don't understand your pure self. Your pure self comes out when the ego falls away through transmutation. And that's meditation, self-observation, releasing a lot of trapped emotions, trusting the divine, letting go of situations, not clinging. If we're clinging, hanging on, and trying to force and coerce, big ego, big ego. That doesn't mean we did shadow work because I can see clearly and the other person doesn't. No, there is no you see clearly, they don't. There's just being. There's just isness. There's them and there's you. And both are right and both are wrong and both are true from their relative perspective. But there's only one universe truth. The universe knows. You don't know. Neither does this person. Person has their journey. You have yours. None is more right than wrong. There's just one sort of divine flow happening. Okay. But if you're suffering and carrying the weight of 2 people, then we got to identify this because there's something in your shadow that makes you feel like you have to carry the weight, that you must put up with imbalanced situations. No, you don't. Find your beauty. It's time for you to be celebrated. Now, what's my reward? Gift? Reward. It's no reward, but maybe reward because of the 6 Wands. I found these. This is so funny. Okay, I was putting the piles together, and for this last pile, I dropped cards on the floor. I don't know what the last cards were for this, but when I went to go pick up the cards for your pile, I looked in the corner and there were all these cards under the cart that were all covered in cat fur. So I don't know how long they sat there, and they're called the Mirror Oracle. So it's from a reading that I did, and I knew instantly it was for your pile. It was a message for your pile. I haven't looked at these cards. These are like romance cards. So some of them could definitely be talking about relationship and connection. And I didn't even know this was going to be about romance or relationship, So I don't know what we're going to see here, but I have a feeling this is part of your read. Okay, so let's take a look. What is all this? Soul purpose. Oh my goodness. So look at these two people and look at this ladder, and it's double-sided, A-frame ladder. So what does that mean? One person's ascending, the other person ascends. I know you don't use the A-frames like that, but this is what's giving me two-sided ladders, both on a road to ascension. And this is kicking me back to this. Okay, and this even, because there's paths, and we don't know what someone's path looks like. It doesn't mean that those paths don't merge. In fact, look at this. We could be walking on a path going one way, somebody could go on a path different way, and then we merge in the center here. Who knows which way this person's supposed to go? You might not. And if you're getting in the way, wanting this person to get on your path, really hoping, and you see them going on the other path and you get frustrated, so you're delaying, saying, no, they must come on this path, or this is the path, or you start going down the other path, but your path is always there, and you are always supposed to get to this merging place, but you delayed, you stalled, you got antsy, you didn't trust. The Spirit's saying you're on this path, you and this person, both ascending, but one path is yours and one path is that person's. Trust that they're on their path and you're on yours. Soul purpose, coming together. White aprons. What are you guys cooking? Maybe you guys are chefs. Spiritual awakening. Look at this. So this connection could have definitely sparked a spiritual awakening, a realization of your spirituality. Some of you guys could really love candles here. Wow. So soul calling and soul purpose doesn't only mean this connection. If you have a soul purpose that's awakened, focus on that. Okay? There's a soul purpose for you here. And we can't be depleted focusing on what's not working or who's not coming. Hidden feelings. So it sounds to me like somebody wasn't communicating. And maybe you knew this intuitively. Someone was being reserved. Someone was holding back. Someone wasn't being honest with their feelings. That doesn't drive anything in regards to you. Okay? And so this is confirmation. Just take the confirmation and move forward. Someone doesn't communicate. Somebody has hidden feelings. That's fine. That's on them. Memories. So I do feel like maybe we have the spirit of no contact. We might be getting hung up, on people, places, things of the past. But don't get in the way of your own path. This is also giving me 6 cups. And 6 cups is the reconciliation card. Coming together, soulmates. It's a sweet energy, soul recognition, distance. So you might be going through a separation with this person. And it might not feel very good, but use this time in order for you to use this as a retreat, in order for you to do your shadow work, in order for you to focus on your soul purpose, in order for you to focus on your spirituality, in order for you to ascend, And if this person is going to meet you where you're at, fine. If not, I think you're going to align with your soul purpose and your soul person. Okay, and it might feel like you're getting distant from this person or leaving them behind. Some of you guys could even be at a geographical distance here. But know that spirit has your back, that any blocks will be there constantly until you shake the energy, even if that means you're pulling away. Okay, trust in the divine and trust that if this person is, stagnant in some way, that they'll find a way through if they're meant to. Don't get stuck with your memories of what could be and what had to be and what happened. Okay, that's all mind stories and that's all ego. And so, yes, we're human and we can have that as a memory, but don't let it dictate your decisions, because you're at crossroads making decisions every moment. You're being divinely guided. You're being asked to trust. You're being asked to know yourself. And the only way to know yourself is through meditation, reflection, observation, and knowing when you're in trigger, knowing when you're acting out of subconscious, and following the signs, symbols, synchronicities in order to align to your purpose. That's all about ascension, all about enlightenment, all about consciousness. Okay, not egos, not fears, not he said, she said, not 3D, not coercing, not manipulating, not expecting somebody to be something they're not because you want it to be. That's not love, that's ego. Okay, and if someone doesn't see you for your beauty, don't get bent out of shape. That doesn't diminish your beauty. You're beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, divine feminine, worthy of being seen and appreciated. Okay, but only after she gets rid of her ego. Otherwise, she's just like everybody else, full of egos and full of everything. Okay, so time to focus on our own energy. Beautiful pile number 3. Let other people sort themselves out, especially where they're all bunged up. This is only going to explode. We can't have hidden feelings forever. We're going to get constipated. What happens when you get constipated? You get very sick. spiritually sick, emotionally sick, physically sick. Okay, so somebody's sick over here, and I feel like there's a reconciliation. Whether you want it or not, I don't know. You might be completely out of this person's horizons by this time, flying super high. And this person might be still in the weeds of it. But whatever, trust that the divine is going to align what it needs to do. Okay? I love you guys very much. I hope this helped you, and I will see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Welcome to the disclaimer. Don't get fooled by people scamming you in the comments section. If you're interested in a private reading, all my contact information is in the description box, and there you will find my website, and that is only through my website can you book private readings at this time. And for those of you guys new to the tarot, tarot does not predict your future. Tarot is not set in stone. Tarot is reflecting back to you a state of consciousness that is something you can either resonate with or not. And so it's very important that you are in tune with your intuition so that you know whether the pile you're picking, the information coming through, is reflecting back to you your own intuition, state of consciousness, your subconscious. And this will be the best way for you to know that the message is indeed meant for you. So if your intuition is not clear or it's cloudy, then you might be tapping into the wrong pile, or information might be coming through that is not dictating whatever your circumstance situation is. So it is important that you work with the divine to develop your intuition. Best way is to sit through the card layout, which I do include with most of my readings, where you can ask the divine to come up with what you'll see, feel, or hear to determine whether the pile makes sense for you. And so you can ask the divine to show you those signs, symbols, synchronicities, either throughout your dreams or throughout your day, and certainly throughout the reading, so that you can be assured that the messages you're tapping into are the right messages for you. If you are drawn to multiple piles with the pick a card readings, listen to your intuition. A lot of times energy is interconnected, and in this channel, a lot of times all my piles could be interconnected. So do not feel obligated to only select one or all or none. It is definitely up to you and your intuition. If you are in a pile and it is not resonating, there is no need to continue listening to that pile. If it doesn't resonate, sometimes it gives us perspective so that we know what is resonating for us. So even piles that do not resonate could provide some insight. Keep in mind that if you have strong energy in your presence, other people, situations, that could be quite heavy energetically or strong energetically, spiritually heavy, those might pull through the pile. So it might not be your energy that I'm picking up, but your situation, your circumstance, or people that you're dealing with. It's up to you to keep an open mind in regards to what it is that I'm connecting to, if it is resonating to your story. Do not take any messages that don't belong to you. There will be specific messages that come through for certain individuals, even though the pile might be your pile, but the specific message does not connect to you. Do not take those messages. Only take the ones that resonate for you. It should be the overall energy in that pile that is resonating to your story. It is the gist of that energy that should be overall the story or the energy of the situation, circumstance, or the person that I'm tapping into. If you are unprepared to listen to difficult messages, messages that offer healing, messages that might provide someone else's perspective that we're not quite ready to listen to, it might be a good time to come back when we're fully healed or prepared to listen to messages. My commitment to you is to read the cards with transparency and as much compassion as I can. It is difficult for me to provide you with any guidance in the comments section without knowing your specific situation. A lot of times the piles do come reversed and they might not match the exact description of the reading. And although I am posting the description of that reading, my intention is to always deliver that in which the description talks about. But sometimes spirit comes through with the mere reflection of either something objectively pulling through, some guidance pulling through, or something completely unrelated. And that is not up to me, and I certainly don't select what comes through. but Spirit knows when you will click on whichever video in order for you to hear the messages that are being pulled through. It might just be for one person, and that one person was needing to hear it. So if you are frustrated with that, it's early to tell in a reading whether it is resonating or not, especially if we've sat through the card layout. Again, do not feel obligated to take any messages that aren't for you. You can certainly switch your own situation, circumstance, or energy based on the reading you get. So if a reading does resonate, but you want a different outcome, then utilize the reading in order for you to make conscious choices, different decisions, guide the energy in a specific way that you want it to go. This is why we utilize the tarot and the oracle cards in order for us to be conscious of the energy and make shifts. Energy shifts very fast, and it is formless, and it is not time bound, meaning I could be tapping into present, future, or past situations. If an energy feels like it's an old energy, it's past, you might want to go check out another pile. There could be one that's talking to your current situation, or we could be looking at a future state of consciousness. These readings might not make any sense to you at the time because it is beyond your level of comprehension. You might want to come back to these readings at a later date. That's why all these readings are timeless unless otherwise stated. And so, as I mentioned, it is up to you, depending on when you click on the reading, to know whether it is useful information to help guide you. All of my readings offer a level of healing, whether it is understanding someone else's perspective, if it is understanding our own perspective, tapping into subconscious energies, or looking at objective situations from the point of view of the creator. All information helps us to put the pieces of the puzzle together so that we can make better decisions when we're involved with difficult or challenging people or circumstances. This is the reason I do the tarot. I do not do the tarot so that we can dwell in hurts and in pain. So if we're suffering, we're allowed to feel how we feel. Pain is inevitable. We all suffer from pain, but the suffering is certainly up to us. And my mission is that we release suffering. Undue suffering does not need to persist. If we choose to suffer, it is because we're making a decision to stay in the suffering. The choice is always ours to get out of suffering. And so sometimes we don't like to hear what it is that's being communicated because it might release us or relieve us from stories, from comfort zones, from pains and clutches that we've used in the past in order for us to feel safe, in order for us to remain in our comfort zone. And as I mentioned, healing isn't always easy. So it is sometimes very difficult for us to acknowledge truths because sometimes a comforting lie is what we choose to believe in. I do not feed comforting lies. I will not read information or readings here that provide you a level of comfort and water the truth down. I don't want you to leave here feeling a false sense of security, but I do want you to leave with a sense that I justified your own intuition, your own energy and suspicion, or whatever you were wanting to confirm with the divine. I also want to make mention that I am not everybody's reader. So at times my voice is annoying, even to myself. And sometimes I deliver messages that aren't quite as concise as they can be. Spirit knows which words I will use in order to channel the information that my soul tribe, the people being drawn to the reading, need to hear. So those words are crafted by the design. I don't spend a whole bunch of time trying to analyze. I do know when it feels right, and I do know that sometimes it's a struggle to come up with a word that can define energy. Energy is not words. Energy can't fit into words. And so sometimes these readings could be a lot of repeating the same thing as I'm trying to find the right word. And if you've tried channeling, you'll notice that a lot of people who channel, they do repeat a lot of words until the right word comes through. Sometimes readings, unfortunately, don't make sense until the very end. And we might go down one path only to find that the answer was something else, or that the reading was something else completely. I don't intend this. Some days my channeling is very strong, and other days it is difficult for me to follow. And sometimes, if it is difficult for me to follow, it can make complete sense on your end, but the delivery on my end might sound a little chaotic or confused because I don't understand everyone's situation and circumstance. Keep in mind, these are general readings, and these readings touch a lot of people, a lot of viewers. If you don't connect with my style, if you don't connect with the readings, then I do suggest you go find another reader. There's many on YouTube. And it could just be the reading or the pile wasn't your fit. So you might want to try another reading from my playlist. And I do hope you guys stay. And I do hope to connect with you guys. I do read all your comments. I do try to reach out to you guys, all of you guys. And if I don't, rest assured, I do see your comments. And I send so much love to you guys. I appreciate you guys very much. And I'm so honored to do this journey with you guys. Bless you and God bless.